This is your weekend warrior, and welcome to another Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Yeah, a lot of these broadcasts live up to just that. Um, so lots of weird and strange things happened this week, and looks like everything cooled down in the end, and things are about to get decently interesting. So let me start out by saying, long live the habitual line steppers. See Sun is Hot Raw in the building. Phil Brad in the building. What's going on? Set some things up real quick. All right. And be mindful of the message scrolling across the bottom of the screen. One of the most important things that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen is that fair use is in place, meaning that I am using any news articles, any images are used for edutainment purposes only. Also, if you are a panelist that intends to hit the StreamYard link when I drop it, your voice, your avatar at the time is property of this broadcast. Also, on the way in, please hit that like button. Let's get this broadcast in the algorithm. I think I'm going to be on for like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours. So strap in. If you have something to do, you got to go get something to eat. Come back if you like. But by all means, thank you for coming through, and let's get this party started. Yeah, and it's always a party uh, when we all come here. Just being jazzy. What's going on? How are you? So, everyone's been talking about Dr. Dre this past week, about how his daughter, Latanya, what was her name? Let's get it right. Let me go ahead and pull the article up. Let's make sure that we are dealing in tangible information, so uh, we can all guide ourselves. Okay, and this is why I hate ads. Come on, get the F out of the way, ad. Shoot, my apologies. Okay, there you go. We got it to where we can read it right now. Yeah. And this is via the Daily Mail. I think the Daily Mail are the first one to have actually reported this. But it says exclusive. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, 38, reveals she's homeless, living out of her SUV rental, and hasn't received a dime from him in 18 months, despite repeated pleas for help. So, this subject matter is going to be central to the theme of this broadcast, because I know some of y'all saw this title. Said Dr. Dre's daughter big by the pound. It was titled something else, but I do have sort of a red pill argument for Dr. Dre, but I would have to include the rest of NWA with that. So let's talk about the current situation, and also let me put in a couple of disclaimers, because you also have to clarify context, because you never know, it might be somebody lurking that watches this broadcast and thinking that we're not thinking about the fact that Dr. Dre has been accused of physical abuse. One of his ex-girlfriends. I also think about the fact that he just got in a divorce settlement as well. I mean, Dr. Dre is no angel, or by any means, or by any stretch of the imagination. And some of his decision making is questionable at best. But it's his business. But there's two sides to that story right there. Dr. Dre actually has denied any physical abuse. So we don't know if it's true or not. We don't know if it's true or not. I'm not doing this thing called victim blaming. Maybe I am if she were actually a victim, but like I said, there's two sides to every story. So I was mindful of that because if there was actual evidence that he did beat her, definitely I would not have done this broadcast. You know, it's like I wouldn't really even care. And I mean, like, these are first world problems. So anyway, the second disclaimer is I do not want to see black women suffer. I do not want to see black women not able to take care of their children. I don't want to see that. I am not a proponent of black failure. I'm not. I'm a believer in common sense, though. And, you know, I stick to the themes of the black manosphere. I'm the kind of person that would at least suggest that young females, I mean, even older ones in such cases, to stop having children you can't afford. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to situations like this. She has four children. She has four children, and shoot, according to sources, he had been funding her quite often. He had you know, he was giving her an allowance. He was taking care of her in her lifestyle. But due to the fact that she spoke against him in the press, he cut the financial support off at in January of 2020. So she was receiving financial support from her almost billionaire dad up until January of 2020. So say she was 36 or 37 because she's reported as being 38 right now. She says she haven't received a dime from him in 18 months. Okay, so there's okay. Let me just read. Okay, it's add some bullet points here. Let me see if there's anything important worth highlighting. Said Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, LaTanya Young. That's her name. LaTanya Young has been living out of her car while working as a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats to make ends meet. Oh, okay, well, you know, at least you're working a job. Uh, uh, and with any job, you have to adjust your lifestyle according to the level of income. Now, if you were getting financial support from your father, who is a multi-millionaire, almost billionaire, you could at least put some pennies to the side just in case something happens. I mean, you know, people change at the drop of a hat. I mean, that's at least what life has taught me. I mean, I know that the same thought process doesn't apply to everyone, but it's okay. Also, it says goes on to say the 38-year-old. She's 38. Okay, so pretty much from 18 on up, I mean, depending on what state you're in, too, your parents can decide at any time to cut you off. I mean, there's the common sense reason, and then but everyone always wants to throw up the emotional reason, like you know, I wouldn't leave my daughter out there stranded. You know, me neither. And you know what? It all depends on what age that is too, and what she is doing for herself at the time. I'm not saying I'm not going to cut mine off at 18 or anything. I just hopefully mine doesn't end up being a 38-year-old with four kids by, you know, possibly four different people. So um, there could, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I know she got four children, but how did they end up in that situation? Said the hip hop legend 55, who believed to be worth around $800 million, not important. You know, it's just, you know, that's his income. And yeah, he was recently ordered to. Oh yeah. This does bring up an important point. So I apologize to people listening. Um, the hip hop legend 55, who is believed to be worth around 800 million, and was recently ordered to pay ex-wife Nicole Young 300K a month in spousal support. Yes. This is one little argument that you know, just people on social media would bring up the fact that he's worth $800 million. and he's now paying his ex-wife 300K a month in spousal support. Well, that yeah, which is kind of I don't get that spousal support. I guess they were used to living a lifestyle. She was with him for 24 years. She deserves something for that. That kind of logic. Um, 300K. So people are bringing this up like, okay, well, he can pay her, but he can't help his daughter out, whatever. So I'll get to how I feel about that little bit in just a second. So I just want to kind of stick to the article before getting off too much of a tangent. But uh, just that the fact that he did not want to do that 300K at first defeats the argument of most people and most social media influencers that tried to make that argument. So she said, I have friends and family that will let us come back and forth, but the majority of the time I'm living out of my car. Latanya said, like, I don't know. Let me just go. Let me just go on to the article because the article is pretty interesting. I mean, it's like like I said, you never want to see people suffer. All these little dumb ads. So it says, Dr. Dre's estranged daughter has revealed she is homeless and been living out of her car while her superstar father is ordered to pay his ex-wife Nicole Young $300,000 a month as spousal support. So it sounds like she brought it up. It sounds like Latanya Young was the one that was pushing this point. Like, oh well, he paying her 300,000, and I'm sitting up here living out my car. That ain't fair. You know what though? Uh, for the mentality of a homeless person, they are likely to say anything when they are in a desperate situation. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily siding with who this person is. Like I said, she had 18 months to come up with a plan before she ended up like that, or maybe she was like that for a while. But still, there's no reason for you to be homeless if you had your dad supporting you all of those years. Why weren't you putting anything away? All right, I don't know. That's just me. Says Latanya Young, 38, works as a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats as an assembler and as an assembler at a warehouse, but claims she can't afford to secure an apartment in California and is living in a rental vehicle. Okay, I stumbled reading that a little bit, but I do hear of Uber and driving services, do having rental services, but it's like wow, yeah, it's just not. That's from what she's describing. Is really no way to live. So it goes on to say the single mother of four told DailyMail.com that she has repeatedly asked her producer dad, who is said to be worth a colossal 800 million for financial help, but she has not received a dime in 18 months. I guess once he's done, he's done. So this is a picture of Latanya. Says she had not seen her famous father, whose legal name is Andre Ramel Young, in 18 years, and doesn't even have a cell phone, admitting that she, even have his cell phone number. I'm sorry, admitting that she has to communicate with him through his team. I don't know the exact details of her, uh, whatever happened when she spoke against him. Maybe I'm supposed to remember it. She did speak against him in the press, and maybe someone who will come up to the panel later on can explain it. But the point is like pretty much. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want everyone watching to understand. In whatever standards we hold ourselves to in this space, we don't let people get away with being a 38-year-old. Now, if she was 13 or 14, and she that would pretty much be a definitive age where if he cut her off, then you can do things like call Dr. Dre an asshole, for cutting his kid off like that. A lot of people, on social media, and I read comments and such. They're on this high horse they're on this high horse that, I would never leave my kid out there in the cold like that. I would never cut my kid off, and that's fine. That's you. But it seems like after you had that support, she still put herself in a position of struggle. So at the end of the day, whose fault that is? I'm not trying to speak of it in a very belligerent way. I'm just trying to get people to see a little common sense here. She had the support already. And so, another picture of her, another picture of her. I'm gonna be done explaining this in a minute, but I want to get to some of the. Okay, just showing a bunch of pictures. I watched that video snippet earlier out of this, and it wasn't all that. It was just, they was just trying to frame it up in a way like Dr. Dre should not be doing this to his daughter. And it says, Latanya, mom of Tatiana, 16, Rayana, 13, Andre, 8, and who was named after his after his grandfather, and Jason the third, 3, said, Jason the third, who's Jason Jr. Oh, okay. Well, the dad, the father. Okay, so uh, she said, I've been working in a warehouse and doing Uber Eats and DoorDash. My kids are staying with friends. They are not living in the car. It's just me. Well, thank God for that. Thank God for that. At least the kids got a roof over their head. Okay, she goes on to say, I am taking odd jobs just to make it now. I got paid $15 an hour as an assembler at the warehouse. So if there's any warehouse workers that is in the audience or might be listening to this casually one day, your $15 an hour job is odd. Because I'm sure she was in a lifestyle where she didn't have to do shit and was living lavishly. And now she can't have access to that anymore because obviously at some point she was an ingrate that rebelled and rebelled and rebelled and thought the honey pot was going to continue until one day Dre forgot about her. She's like, I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while. So how long has she been in debt? Latanya said that she now fears she will lose her rental car as she has not been able to make payments. How does she keep don't? I'm one to think that rental cars do have GPSs or some kind of tracker on them, but it depends on the rental car service. And if it was through the service that she's working for, then they would get that money anyway. So, but I guess I don't know. Some things about this just aren't piecing together. She said the car is a pretty penny. She said it's an SUV that cost $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. So why are you going for a super expensive vehicle if you have been in debt for a while? Okay, let me see if I can highlight the statement. See, this is where people stop feeling sorry for people like this when shit like this comes up. Yeah, I can highlight the statement. She says the car is a pretty penny. She said it's an SUV that costs $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I've only paid for 1 week. Yeah, damn. Who is she delivering food for? Shay Maurice? Like, what the fuck? Says sooner or later they are going to take the car. And then what? It's like, why do people like this? They don't have like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for her. I really am. But it's like, god damn, people don't. People get on social media and start fucking virtue signaling and not really thinking about what did she do up into that led up to that moment. See, that's what you have to think about with a lot of these people. That's what you got to think about with a lot of these people that step up on these YouTube streets. I mean, y'all sure say a lot of stuff about the manosphere. Shoot. But let me see some of the social media reaction. Yeah, this, and I pulled this article up as a pretty good example. you know, yeah, I thought this was pretty funny right here. That Shannon Sharp was vocal about this situation. So Shannon, it said the title, the headline says Shannon Sharp ripped apart for his criticism of Dr. Dre's daughter. Like, well, why? Why was he ripped apart for his criticism of Dr. Dre's daughter? Or and you know, it couldn't. It's just common sense. You know, anyone with common sense could figure this shit out. And, you know, you always got the Twitter mob, which aren't intimidating. So let me look through here at some of this reaction. What exactly did Shannon Sharp say to set off the Twitter mob? Is this page just not loading? Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, so I'm probably about to do a really horrible impression of Shannon Sharp, but before I do that, let me check back with the comments. Let me check back with the comments real quick. Oh, I can't see on this screen share. Oh, okay. All right. Hybrid Impact 83. Let me go ahead and say this. Anybody that can give me any news on the UFC fight that's taking place tonight between Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn, can any one of you that might have access to that information give me a update on that event? Because I would surely like to know who wins that. Hopefully it's Derek Lewis. I like Derek Lewis. I want to see him and Francis Ngannou have a real fight, because when they did get in the octagon, they act like they were scared of each other. I want to see them dudes brawl for real, because they beast, both of them. So anyone that has any kind of update on that UFC fight, just let me know. Let me know during the broadcast. But this is about Dr. Dre and his kid, and you know. Oh look, got a super chat. Milton Jackson. That headline is lie. Most of the people who interacted with the tweet agreed with him. I mean, yeah, I think there are some agreeable tweets, but you know how the mainstream media likes to misdirect shit. Also, Castro's World, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Rael, see you down there. As much as black women complain about Dusty, they sure as hell defended the Dusty. I mean, but that's that sisterhood code. That's that girl code stuff, man. You know, we have faced it very often. So Hybrid Impact 83 is he said Gahn will probably win. Or Derek Lewis might throw a couple of them haymakers. That guy is extremely surprising for some of the finishes that I've seen Derek Lewis have in his fights. I wouldn't count him out, but we'll see. But Gahn is like way technical. So let me get back to this article. See what we are talking about. All right. So Shannon Sharp incited the Twitter mob by saying the following statements. So he says a 38-year-old grown woman trying to shame her father into taking care of responsibilities that she created. Come on, Skill. Come on. The hell? So, okay, so that, you know, obviously it's like when you say anything, I guess as a celebrity, if you say anything that social media agrees with, it's going to incite the Twitter mob to come and attack you. So it said naturally, Shannon Sharp, let's say like naturally, like this is some shit that's just supposed to happen that makes sense. It says, let me highlight this real quick. So naturally, Shannon Sharp was quickly hit with backlash as well. with many Twitter users clowning him for siding with someone who has endless resources yet refuses to take care for their child. But he was taking care of his child. See, they be leaving shit out. One by one, fans clapped back at Sharp, but throughout it all, he stood his ground. What about her kid's fathers? Her kid's father. Now, if anyone knows, do all her kids have the same father? I don't know. So when I said that little, four kids by four different dads, I didn't, I don't have that information for sure, you know. So he said he also argued that no one would know about the Young's family business had Latonya never given the story to a tabloid like the Daily Mail. That article I was just showing y'all with all the ads popping up like ninjas. So he goes on to say, tell her to stop running the tabloids. We wouldn't know. So Pistons All Day responds, replying to Shannon Sharp, stay out of that family business at Shannon Sharp. Uh, look, look, I can't stand when people say stuff like that. It's like, okay, they put it out there for you to read, for you to listen to. I think she even did like some kind of interview, like some verbal interview about it. When they put it out there, people can say what they want. You can't say stay out of the family business because you don't like the response. Shit, it ain't all about you. Pistons all day. So Shannon Sharp goes on. Come on, Skip, where's her mom? And Boy Noir, I don't want to know what that means, at Slim underscore Cole, replying to at Shannon Sharp, all I can say is as a father, I never want or would leave my child homeless. I was like, okay, people don't know what they would do until they get into that situation. And granted, Boy Noir, he's saying as a child he would never want to leave his child homeless. It's like, that's granted that your child is making choices that are forward moving and productive for that child, not making decisions constantly that sets that child back because they were born with a fucking silver spoon in their mouth. Shannon Sharp, you did, why can't I? And then token majorities replying to as Shannon Sharp, you really shouldn't comment on every situation, Unc. He can comment if he want to. Token majorities. Shoot, like that. I like what kind of name is that? Token majorities. Is that a way of trying to flip the minorities thing and say that you're a token? That name's already fucked up within itself. Okay, and he said, "That's you, but you can't be upset with Dre." She said, "Assistant stopped in 2020. Did you ask yourself why?" Oh, look at this name right here. Let me see if I can increase the size of the screen. And for everybody tuning in, I surely do appreciate it. And for some reason, I can't increase the size of the screen. Okay, so this right here, Ash, the God of Chaos, at Swankness. My child could be 40 years old, and I'd never allow them to live in a car. Oh, there it is. I never allow my grandchildren to live with my child's friends, knowing how hard it is out here. Oh, Jesus. He says my child could be 40 years old, and I'd never allow them to live in a car. Man, look, all I'm saying is, if your child's decision making was counterproductive to their life, constantly, against all the advice you're giving them, you mean to tell me you'll still be a piggy bank for this kid? Come on now. Once you hit, like, okay, I'll say this, okay. Once you hit like 18 to 21, it's like they don't have to do anything for you anymore. Your parents don't have to do anything for you, and they shouldn't have to. You should not feel entitled. I mean, but people are brought up differently. These people, like, I hate these high and mighty folks, man. Yeah, most of you motherfuckers be getting on here lying. I will never, I will never, ever, ever. Like, fuck out of here. At Shannon Sharp, people, will fuck up your money and get upset when you say no more. Then try and put you on blast. Okay, ask MC Hammer how that shit is, what he just said. That was some real shit he just said. People will fuck up your money and get upset when you say no more, then try and put you on blast. That's how a lot of these little dirty secrets of these guys and these sex scandals be getting out, because they cut off the damn honeypot. Because these old biatches feel like they're entitled to it forever. And men should be smart anyway when dealing with a certain kind of woman. So, but we're talking about daddy-daughter stuff. But he's right. They'll fuck up your money. And then co-host slash scumbag lounge podcast. He said, I just had a combo about this. She is grown. Who know what she done effed up along the way? Oh, yeah. So that's one that agrees with him. Awesome. That's one, and that's what I'm talking about. And I think that's pretty much what's central to what I've been saying. What decisions did she make that was counterproductive to her life, that might have been likely against her father's advice? Because if anyone in this situation knows how to make money and knows how to be productive, it would be Dr. Dre. At Shannon Sharp continues. Why wasn't she going to the tabloids when Dr. Dre was helping Skill? Come on, Skill. Then B Fish replying to at Shannon Sharp. A billionaire ignoring his daughter and grandkids when they are at their lowest. Okay. Yeah, B Fish at B Fish 804. All right. People have a right to their opinions. But I like to go back to the tweet before this one. Somebody with common sense. Who know what she done effed up along the way? So B-Fish, you need to have a conversation with this guy. As Shannon Sharp, congrats to him. Sheik Loud's baby mom, he's a billionaire. Okay, you're a baby mom, so you about, we're going to discard that one. Going to throw that out to the side. With the opportunities he presented her, she should have 2-3 businesses. Exactly. And I'm sure, coming from Shannon Sharp, a guy who's on the inside of Celebrityville, that might actually be tangible information that I'm going to be, at the time, too lazy to try to research. So we're going to take Shannon Sharp's word for it. Here goes Preston, get vaccinated mission. Oh, man, fuck out of here. Get vaccinated. Okay. So, he states he's a billionaire. She's his daughter. Okay. All right. He has 800 million. It's not 800 billion. He's almost a billionaire. Almost. He's not a billionaire. Let's just be real about that. Rihanna's a billionaire. Kanye's a billionaire. Dre, not a billionaire. He was a billionaire when he sold Beats, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me. He said this should never be okay and you shouldn't be celebrating it. Who says he is celebrating it? He's not celebrating it. He's just making a point. Look, you're 38. You should have it figured out by now. Don't act like your father didn't try to teach you anything. Look, read that again. With the opportunities he presented her, she should have two, three businesses. Look, people, no one is entitled to anything. No one owes you anything. You owe it to yourself, especially after at least 21 years of age. Really, after 18, what that around that time you either graduate high school or get your GED, you should already have a plan in motion. Let's keep it real. Your plan at 18 shouldn't be a fast food restaurant. If you're doing a fast food restaurant just to get by, just to make ends meet until you get something better, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shaming any kind of work at all. But the work is available until you can get on your feet and do something. At least to after 21. He presented her. She should have two or three businesses. Okay. Yeah, billionaire father or 800,000, 800,000, 800 million, whatever. It's not 1 billion. Shannon Sharp, making even more common sense. What about her kid's father? Where's the daddy? That's a question that like people in social media often ask that question, inconvenience to shame black men who they can't argue against. Where is the daddy? So yeah, let's ask it in this case. Where's the daddy? What about a kid's father? Is it just one father? Assuming that it's one father, all four. There's four of them. Yeah, that's a legitimate question. What about our kid's father? Shannon Sharp, laugh emojis. Vaughn at Joe Van replying to at Shannon Sharp. Unc, I know you off the woods and the yak calls. Ain't no way you just on here arguing with people for over 2 hours about parents helping their grown ass kids. The fuck? Yeah, trying to shame him for responding to people's vitriol, or as we like to say sometimes, gaslight. This is what I don't get about people. You feel like you have the right to say anything you want to anyone, but without response. The man had time. He had time. Does he get on here now? If he'd have got on here and did this 7 days a week for like a year, then there'll be some. Then you can question it like that. Even if before it gets to a year, you can question it. But you know, there's one time he steps up and decides to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go at the Twitter mob because I can't stand the Twitter mob. That's probably why I'm not on Twitter. It's like their minds are so spaced out. It's like, what is wrong with you, motherfuckers? But let's continue. Shannon Sharp. I've closed my business that told people how they should raise their kids and the relationship they should have with them. I closed my business that told people how they should raise their kids and the relationship they should have with them. Okay, and Serena at makeup underscore Serena. All right, you're already using that, so I already know how to, treat comments like this. All I know is if I'm wealthy and so are my children would never be homeless or without at any age, which means you're not wealthy. You raise your kids how you see fit. Allow me to do the same. Oh, okay. So they started to comment on how this man raising his children. Y'all so stupid. Like it's like when you can't win an argument. And then at Ducari, and it's got a peach for some reason, or orange, whatever the fuck that is. At Kari Bome, this is the type of shit that make us dead slave masters smile. Okay. Yeah, and I bet they voted for Joe Biden too. Shannon Sharp. I'll take the grands while they figured ish out. That's what my Granny and Papa did. Xavier Gatlin. What about the grandchildren having to live with friends? Like, okay, here's what you should be asking your sales Twitter mob. Why are you sitting up there willing to argue 2 hours after Shannon Sharp made his point crystal clear? I mean, you can only carry words so far. Yeah, man, but you know what? Y'all ain't. I mean, what I'm thinking is maybe Latanya seen, seen this little story right here and was thinking, hey, that's a good idea. So I would say be looking for a GoFundMe in the near future, and she probably will raise the money. But I know y'all seen this story that I got on the screen right now. It says single mom of three was facing eviction, but then strangers raised $230,000 for her. Wow. And I'm sure y'all recognize that face right there. So I mean, hey, they getting by. They getting by. But shoot, I mean, look, for starters, like this has got to be the biggest ass generation of women that I have ever seen in my motherfucking life. And the reason why I say it like this is because of the fact that y'all always calling niggas broke. And I'm sure that Latanya Kelly was doing that shit too. So hey, I mean, it's not my fault that she didn't decide to invest a little bit of that money that she was getting from her dad, or make a long term plan, or decide to go off with Pookie and Ray Ray instead. Just to grow a family. And not put that money toward her kid's future. I mean, the first kid is 16, the last child is 3. So, all right, so let's do a little math. 2020, January 2020 was over a year and a half ago. So that means that the child was, I would say 14. The oldest child was 14, and the youngest child was just a year when he decided to cut her off. So I'm just saying. So she had a solid, I would say, 14 years to, let's see, 14 from 36. That would be 22. So she's been dropping them since 21, 22. So I would say, yeah, she's had a decent amount of time to figure it out. But she decided to go get a different path. And then once you're doing this and doing that, daddy can get tired if they want. Your parents can get tired if you want. Your parents don't owe you anything. Say, my parents don't owe me anything at this time. My dad doesn't owe me anything. If I really needed financial assistance, and I got a kid, that's what I did. I did that. My dad doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have. He can say flat out no, no, hell no. Who's gonna be mad about that except me a little bit? Mad at myself because I got egg on my face. Hey, she should feel the same way. The world is a cruel place. It's a cruel, unfair place. No one's entitled to anything, male or female. So for the younger people listening that already got it figured out, good job. Don't end up like her. Damn, did I just say that whole thing without sharing the screen? I thought I shared the screen, but okay. So, son is hot raw. I find it interesting how the man worked hard to provide for his family and was nearly on his deathbed a few months ago. Nobody cared, but his ungrateful, out of line children get all the sympathy. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. So I meant to share the screen when I was going through all that Shannon Sharp stuff, but if y'all understood, hey, you guys are a pretty intelligent viewership, so thank you. Oh, Kareem, what's going on, Kareem? But Son is Hot Rod, thanks for that super chat. Rael, it's clear these idiots hadn't read the book Keto, Wealth, and Consequences. In the book, it states you can rob your children of ambition by giving them money without teach them accountability. So the mom plays mom kind of plays some role in this too. I mean, think about it. If you're off somewhere becoming a billionaire, you're a very busy man. You're a very busy man. And if we're going to talk about how Dre was too busy for his daughter, then we need to start being the kind of people that learns how to hold each parent to the same level of accountability. I mean, think about it. Like I said, if he's off somewhere being a billionaire, he's a very, very busy man. Mm. Yeah, but yeah. One more thing I want to talk about. Let me bring this up real quick. Just be patient with me. I'm gonna share the screen this time. Wanted to look this one up. Wanted to do a little reaction to it real quick. Uh, be patient with me. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, because I was watching these comments that were made by Marcus Lamont Hill. Y'all know who Mark Lamont Hill is? Um, and it was the usual virtue signaling. Mm, better yet, why don't I open up the panel and we can all react to it together? Ah, shit, I can't find it anyway. Hold on one second. But let me drop this link real quick. All right. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. See if I can find it in the library. There it is. There it is. We just add plays. Come on. Because he said it right at the beginning. Ah, gosh. Okay, cool. Here it is. Got it. Got it. All right. And like I said, fair use is in place. Uh, Black news channel. Hopefully, they're not the kind of people that start acting all mad when you use their material in criticism of them. But hey, you know what? Y'all should have thought about that when y'all hired Mark Lamont Hill. So, let's see. There he is. There he is. Look at that. Like him and Van Jones. I bet you a conversation like that would make you just, I don't know, not pay attention after 2 seconds. But I want y'all to listen to this.
Now, time to see what's going on in these digital streets. First up, Dr. Dre's eldest daughter recently revealed that she's homeless
Fair use. Remember, fair use.
and has not received financial help from her father in over 18 months. The Daily Mail is reporting that Latanya Young, a 38-year-old mother of four, has been living out of her rental car. Young reportedly works as a food delivery driver to keep afloat while her children stay with various friends. Twitter has been debating all day whether it is Dr. Dre's responsibility to support his daughter, as his net worth is.
All right. It is not his responsibility to financially support his daughter. It is. It is when you're grown up. When you're grown up. Sorry to say this. Not sorry. When you're grown up, like well into your 30s, it is not and should not have ever been your parents' responsibility by that point to take care of your ass. So let me continue.
To be somewhere reported around $800 million. The music mogul previously provided an allowance and rental assistance to Young, but informed her that help would no longer be available in January of 2020.
So do we know why any of that happened? Do we know why? Do we know that I wonder, does he understand why he cut off the assistance? But let's hear how he feels about all this.
So I've been following this story on Twitter all day, and I do understand everybody's perspective, although I have a very strong opinion on this. First up, people say, well,
You sure that's strong, sir? You sure that opinion is strong, or is it weak? Probably moist.
you know, she's grown. Sure, she's grown. But being grown doesn't mean that you don't need help. It's not like this young woman isn't working hard. It's
Being grown means that you grown. She grown. She almost 40. Okay, she's had a lot of chances. And also, remember when that Caucasian anchor, I forget her name, slipped up and said the word nakers, I guess to avoid saying the N word. He spoke up for her. This is the same man that said, I believe her. I believe it was an accident. Come on, guy.
not like she's not working every day. It's not like she's not struggling to take care of her own situation and to improve her own situation. We have a tendency to look at people who are vulnerable, who are struggling, and we attempt to shame them and criticize them for their choices. Well, if she did this instead of that, or where those fathers of the four children at her, why didn't she work harder? What did she do to get cut off? And
Yes, all common sense questions. How do you explain your way out of that? What did she do to get cut off? What led her to that situation? Where are the kids' fathers? Those are all common sense questions. Why are you even arguing against that? I mean, I guess his rump is still sore from that beating he took from Judge Joe Brown. But let's finish this out. He's not going to speak about this much longer.
instead of thinking about her circumstance and saying, look, we need to intervene and help this young woman simply because she needs help. I don't care whether she's 6, 16, or 60. We need
And I'm gonna say this. Okay, 6, 16. Great. He tried to throw out some ages that people really need help. By 60, she might be a little old to be trying to take care of herself. I mean, 60 is still a age where you can still pretty much walk around and be able to do things and have your right mind and such. But I mean, she's 38 with 4 kids, man. Like, she should have set her life up to where it was the best thing for those children. And she did not do that. Okay. That's the situation she's in.
to help the sister. But then the question is, well, why should Dr. Dre do it? Well, that somewhat is a philosophical question about the role that parents should play in the lives of their
It's a
children
common
after they're
sense
grown. But
question.
it's hard for me to imagine somebody being worth $800 million and not helping their children or providing any type of other support. If you say this is tough
Uh, I guess you don't have to imagine it anymore. It's right before your very eyes. So, you can use that as a reference point.
love. I don't know what kind of tough love has your grandchildren homeless, living with random people, or having your child that's sleeping in a car while you got $800 million. And then some people on Twitter say, well, give Dr. Dre the benefit of the doubt. Well, what has he done to earn the benefit of the doubt? Google Dr. Dre. I don't have to get into all the specifics tonight, but Google Dr. Dre. I'm not sure that he deserves the benefit of our doubt. I'm not sure that there's that much doubt.
Well, what the hell was he trying to say? Just come out and say it. Like, we know he was alluding to the fact that Miss Shelley accused this man of beating her. So that's what, like, Google Dr. Dre. I'm sure he doesn't deserve the benefit of a doubt. Any doubt. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? Dude, let me get this guy off my screen before my already struggling laptop short circuits from the moistness that this man is displaying. Oh shoot, Mr. Imp. Wonder how long Mr. Imp has been up there.
Not too long. I was
Yeah.
just looking at the Mark Lamoy's field that you were talking about. I was laughing in the background, but what's going on?
Shoot, nothing too much, man. Just another Saturday night here. What do you have to say upon this situation?
I got in late to the party. I seen that you was live streaming it, but I didn't jump in right away. You try, let the hoes get out what they need to say, because I know you got a lot to say.
Yeah, yeah, periodically throughout the broadcast because I want to pull up this article that I found. Like I said, I would not have commented on like the whole Michelle A thing if he had not, if he hadn't denied it. But there is an article somewhere that I'm going to pull up that he has denied it. So when he has a chance to tell his side of the story, it's her word against his, and then that particular movie coming out on Lifetime, which is really a feminist anti-man network, that's kind of questionable as well. So, I try to keep this in mind because if he really did beat Michelle A like that, I wouldn't have any sympathy for the man. But right is right. Nobody owes you a goddamn thing after you reach a certain age. So, so what do you have to say on the subject matter, Mister Imp?
About Dr. Dre's daughter.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to get back with you on that. I haven't been following Dr. Dre like that. I did get the one PC or laptop, but I got to get that repaired. I got the HP Beats by Dre from him, but I gotta get the new SSD put in there because the old one just stopped working. And I just took it out and I just smashed it to pieces because I didn't want the data to be stolen.
Okay, that was a lot, but good luck with all of that. I did get Beats, Dr. Dre. What, you have a headset?
No, I got the laptop. I was thinking about turning that
Oh, you got
laptop
a
into
beat.
a gaming PC.
Okay. You got a Beats laptop. You were thinking
Yeah,
about. Oh, okay. Well, like I said, good luck with that. Hopefully, you'll make the right decision in the end. Okay. Well, thanks for joining, Mister Imp, and you're welcome to speak up, on the subject at any time. Can
sure.
you? Yeah, go ahead and mute yourself.
All right.
All right. So. Okay. All right. Well, let me since we got since we got a little crowd in here, it's been 1 hour. Let me talk about a little something real quick, and I'm not gonna mince my words, okay? Because and, this is another because I said "and the manosphere" in the title. So um since I did put it in the title, let's mention what I'm talking about. I saw this video. It ran across my timeline. Um, I was looking at YouTube one day, and it was Robert Perkins. Yeah, and we all know who Robert Perkins is. For those of you who need an explanation as to who Robert Perkins is he is Cynthia G's baby daddy. He is, in fact, I think Cynthia G is number 5 on his baby mama list. And he made a video entitled "Manosphere Nigga," and he basically said he got this email stating that he was being called a simp, and that why he always standing up for these hoes and everything. And it went from him responding to this email to all of a sudden just wanted to go ahead and start shitting on the manosphere. This is the kind of shit the manosphere, they want to see women suffer, and they hate black women, all the little dog whistles that they say about the manosphere. And and just a few things that I got from that particular video is just number one, if you wanted to just talk about the manosphere, just do like everybody else and pick out a video and misrepresent whatever the guy's saying. If you just want to come at the manosphere, just come at the manosphere. You don't have to use some random ass email. And he probably made that shit up because one thing that I understand about the other side of all of this, and when I say the other side is the manosphere haters, the weird KS haters, is that most of these people, they make up a talking point. They say we say, and then argue against it, and have tens, maybe hundreds of people listening that actually will take that shit seriously. And it's a bizarre phenomenon. It's like even hearing the words manosphere right now, it's just like a dog whistle for everyone to just come flocking to see and to see whatever someone has to say about it. Now, the other thing in this is like, for real, some people should just shut the fuck up. There are certain things that you cannot speak on. Like, for instance, for me, I can't speak on the problems and the issues of people who live in China. I can't speak on it. I mean, whatever's reported in the news, I can speak on that since is public information. But outside of that, I can't tell you what is like from personal experience. I can't tell you. I'm not the person for that. I can tell you about my Black American experience, but I can't tell you about that. When I see this guy sitting in his truck, and more power to him, whatever he's doing with his life, hey, as long as it's for a movement, I'm proud of you, brother. I don't want to see you struggle. I don't want to see you fail. I don't care how many baby mamas you got. But he's speaking on shit and he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Like this whole bizarre thing that all we do is sit around and just talk about and trash and bash black women and just talk shit about women and we hate our moms. I think he did a Yo Mama Black too. Yeah, that's called doing a Yo Mama Black. When they start talking about all that bullshit about how we hate our moms, it's just it's like they're taking all of the plays out of the same playbook. If you listen to each one of these broadcasts that are anti-manosphere, you'll hear all the same words: misogynistic. It's like, what the hell is this guy talking about? He has 5 baby mamas. He's the problem. He's the fucking problem. The fuck is this dude talking about? You're exactly what we speak against. The 80-20 rule. This dude is a living example of the 80-20 rule. Coming up with that same basic ass shit, that same baseline of dumbass complaints, which really are misleading and false, because that ain't all we do. We don't. I mean, and if you want me to be brutally honest, in a lot of instances, them bitches deserve to be bashed. And when I say bitches, I mean bitches. Doesn't necessarily have to be a black woman. But since we're speaking in the context of such, a lot are against us. A lot are. They just are. But that's just one aspect. That's just one aspect. You got guys talking about how to make more money, where to get the money from, and the importance of living to be your best self. So all that that's easy shit, to make up a channel and just create drama and such. Taking shots at a particular space full of black men when you yourself is a living embodiment of what's problematic about our community. So my suggestion to Robert Perkins is, man, look, stay in your lane, dude. Especially when you driving that truck. Just stay in your fucking lane. Ain't no need to start barking anything this way, especially when you don't really know what the fuck you talking about. Imagine I'm coming up here being self-righteous, but I got 5 baby mamas. The fuck out of here. Oh, sun is hot, Rod. But to be fair, Kev, the manosphere has been going in on here for years for messing with the beetle vomit from Seattle. He just responded to us going at him. Okay, well, since you put it that way, see that kind of reasoning would make sense. I mean, we've been calling this man Perk the Squirt. Well, that's Obsidian, but you know, we laughed at that shit. I've laughed at it a few times, but still, like and since you put it that way, but still, he's still misrepresenting what's being said over here. So he ain't completely off the hook. You know, you gotta at least sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, if he just wanted to come at the manosphere, he should have just came at the manosphere. He shouldn't have made up some old bullshit email saying this guy said this and this guy said that, because I've heard that one a million fucking times. I think quite a few of us have. So if a guy really submitted an email like that, he should have just focused on that guy. But Sun is hot raw. To your point, he should have just. I would have done it like this. Okay, guys, y'all been messing with me forever about this. You Manospherian guys, you know, and he should have said names. I mean, you know, it's not like saying a name is going to send a subscriber over. It might. It does. It might send a subscriber over to their brand, but still, though, the people have to decide who they want to watch. Each one of you watching right now, I can't make you stay here. I can't make you not watch anyone else. I can't do any of that. So this is just how I would have did it, because I felt like that was executed poorly and sloppy. I would have come up with receipts. I would have recorded some sound bits, and I would have said, "This is exactly why I'm cussing that motherfucker out." That's just me. But the way he came at, like I said, it was shitty execution, shitty fucking execution from a uh, shitty decision maker from the way it looks. Now, one thing that he did say, and one thing that I do get tired of people saying, is the whole both logic. The okay, I hold both men and women accountable. That right there is just a borderline. It's like all that is just an excuse to go at dudes as much as you want. And when someone questions you, then you can say something like, "Well, I'll go both at men and women," and I've seen this a lot too. Saying I got that Facebook group, loads and loads of proof, loads and loads of experience as to how people react to certain situations. And what I know is usually when a guy says, "I hold both accountable," when a man says, "I hold both accountable," he goes at men real hard and goes at women really, really weak. When a woman says, "I hope," well, which is a lie. I don't see women holding both men and women accountable. I mean, there probably could be some females that are. There probably could be. Hey, Mister Amp, I see you in the back. I'm about to bring you back up in a little bit. But I just think that the both logic is bullshit. The solution to that is to hold the individual accountable, whether it's a black male or whether it's a black female. Try to look at it from an individual standpoint. Because I don't the Pookie, the thug, the whoever, the negative the negative archetype of a black man, however he's seen his bottom self. I don't feel a certain way when I see that guy. I don't feel like that guy represents me. And I hope to God that guy feels like I don't represent them. Even though he'll probably have a better chance of me representing him than uh, uh, like, you know what I mean. But if you bring up that negative archetype in order to, I would say, shame me or to try to get me to shut up, then it's not going to work. say for instance, when y'all bring up the okay, let's relate it to this situation. Like you keep asking where are these kids' fathers. Everybody's asking where are the child's fathers, which is a legitimate question in this case. But we're discuss. Say for instance that me and another person is discussing this situation, and I say something they don't agree with. Like, okay, I say, well, why does she keep having kids that she can't afford? Obviously, because she broke, she homeless, she's driving an overpriced rental car, which she can't. The delivery service that she's working for can't keep up. Did not make any sense to get an expensive rental car. So obviously she has expensive taste, which means that she was living high on the hog off of her daddy and didn't know a fucking thing to do when he cut her off. So these are all common sense questions. So I'm having a conversation with a person, an actual human being, and I'm saying stuff they don't agree with. They're gonna turn around and say, "Well, where are the kids' fathers? Why is she broke anyway? Why are they not there for them? What's wrong with black men?" That person is suggesting that I should feel a certain way about that. I should feel ashamed. I don't. I don't. Which is why I suggest to women who listen to this story or listen to a black man explain the story about Latanya Young and being homeless with 4 kids. My suggestion to her is you do not put yourself in her position if you're not living in her position. She was born under a celebrity and she had time. So, hey, I'm sorry. She had time to figure all that shit out. If I were the child of a billionaire, and I mean, I'm thinking with my 44-year-old brain when one can only assume that I had a notepad every chance I got when I hung around my parent. I mean, what even with the company they keep, a very productive billionaire who is constantly doing things to continue to make money. She's supposed to have a notepad around that man. Okay, and then at the top of the notepad, it should have been how to make money. Kenshawn Holistic Health Coach, what's going on? J Nero 226, what's going on? I mean, have a notepad. And they tell me, oh my God, Dr. Dre has endless resources. How could his daughter be homeless? He has endless resources, okay. Now, with his daughter being around his endless resources, for the time that she was around his endless resources, one of those resources had to have been informational. A few of those resources had to be informational. What if your billionaire father says, all you got to do is the right thing and I got you, and you don't do the right thing? That means deal's off. But at least if you got a brain, because didn't another one of his daughters graduate from USC, University of Southern California? So what was the difference in her and his other daughter? Hey, his other daughter got it figured out. And you know what his other daughter is saying right now? Well, you know what they're saying about his other daughter right now? She should have been taking notes like me. You know what I'm saying? Why Skinner Man K, what's going on? You say I'm lost for words. Why are you lost for words? Yeah, J Nero 226. She is 38 years old and has 4 children. Latanya Kelly. And yeah, she takes thirst pictures on social media as well. I've seen quite a few. Nothing to shake a stick at. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But hey, it depends on your taste in women. But the point is like she's homeless with 4 children. Like said J Nero 226, he had been paying her rent. Yeah, he financially supported her up until January of 2020 when he had notified her that he was cutting the money off. And the reasoning being stated is that she spoke out against him to the press. I don't. Oh, why Skinner Man K? Mixed feeling. Oh, you have a mixed feeling. Well, I mean, you can feel free to hit the link and explain your mixed feeling. Oh, why Skinner Man Cave? But thanks for showing up. But I'm speaking from the standpoint of I'm speaking from the standpoint that she's a grown woman. So let's see. Said Barry Little, what's going on? Salute Kev in chat. If a grown ass black woman is strong, independent, and don't need no man, she should be responsible for her own financial well being. No one cuts black men a break when we mess up. No, we don't. Some of us are lucky to find breaks, but I would have to say that we as a black man, we have to prepare for the worst case scenarios, and hopefully, um, we have an environment conducive to that kind of upbringing, because that's what my father taught me. Hell, I'm not going to always be there, son. Me and your mother are not always going to be there. So you have to prepare to be able to survive, and that's common goddamn sense. But if you have a billionaire father, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, especially with a shrewd businessman. You get, I mean, it like usually your family life can kind of translate into your business life and vice versa. So if he's handling family life like a business, you're bad for business. We got to, cut our losses. And as usual, infantry skills. 1,800 black abortions a day. Cam Robb. I don't feel sorry for her or her situation at all. When you are when you on your own, you are grown, and when you 38 years old, there's no way in hell she needs get sympathy. The least she could have done is get Section 8. Wow. Well, depending on the laws of how she goes about that, where she's at. But listen up, listen up, people. Let me bring. I had him waiting out for the longest. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. And this is the worst part of it all. This is the worst part of it all. The worst part are the children. It's the children. I want to see the best outcome for the children. Their mother didn't put them in that situation to where they can have the best outcome. So the kids, like if their mother doesn't think of something, or old Dr. Dre doesn't have a change of heart, then those kids are going to have to, I don't know, be one of those rise above situations. There's been a lot of success stories that started out with, when I was a kid, I had nothing. And I do not wish to see a child have to endure that. If they are successful in the end, then yeah, the situation did some good. But I never want to see a parent put a child in a situation such as that. It's not right for that child. And and I know they say in this space we don't care about kids, but that's a goddamn lie. I at least I do. I have some form of empathy for them. I hate to see, like I say, I hate to see women continue, girls and stuff continuously have kids they can't afford. And when that happens, you have shit situations like this. You can blame the men all you want. People who blame men on social media don't give a damn about those children. If you did, you would care about what really brought them in that situation and not try to blame men because you feel like it makes women look bad. Like I say, hold the individual accountable, eliminate all those problems. If it's a continuing trend, hey, maybe then you can say something about gender. Which a lot of these things are continuing trends. This is why a lot of guys preach love. You know what? If you're gonna have kids like that, let's get back to this family dynamic thing. That seems to be what's best for these children. Because what's being reported, they're leaving a lot of details out. I still can't figure out, and I've been looking, I still can't figure out whether she had different baby daddies or if it's the same guy. Because when Shannon Sharp was like, look, where's the kid's father, singular, he was giving her the benefit of a doubt. And the Twitter mob didn't care about that or did not pay attention to it. The Twitter mob just says what they want to say. And along with everybody on social media, they probably wouldn't do that shit to save their life. Cause like these motherfuckers be lying, man. It's like y'all wouldn't like that's what I don't get about these simps, man. How many single mothers did these simps save? How many are they rushing to save? Why are you getting mad at black men for saying, hey, you know what? At least have some kind of prearranged relationship or some arrangement for the child. It's for the child. And these four children right now, like, look, they're 16. What's he said? They're 16, 13, and 11. Now they're past 10, so they can kind of, hopefully, if they're a little clever, hopefully they won't have to struggle for too long. Hopefully, they say they're staying with friends, so the friends' environments is what those kids are hanging on. And believe me, those kids don't think the same as we do. We in the court of public opinion. Those kids have a very different perception. I'm sure maybe one of them is thinking and believing that, they feel abandoned by their almost billionaire grandfather. I'm sure one of them does. And that's probably out of anger because their mother doesn't have anything. See, this is what happens when you leave important details out. You start to misunderstand the situation. Where is the kid's father or fathers? Time for you to step in, guys. Baby daddy is first place to start. Black warrior spirit. Yep. Baby daddy is the first place to start. Yeah, where is that guy? That's why you have so many people around here talking about some choose better. Folks be getting mad because they tell these women to choose better, yet we still hearing about situations like this and situations like Dasha Kelly and situations like that girl that left her kids in the hotel room and then she got arrested. Situations like that girl who tried to kill herself with her daughters in the car because she couldn't handle taking care. Like she had two sons, two daughters. She tried to kill herself because the pressure was just too much. That's why. That's why. That's why you got so many guys in these spaces and on social medias keep telling these females to choose better. Choose better. So you won't end up in fucked up situations that we got to hear about and we got to be sad about in the damn news. Or we having little assessments like this, like, your daddy don't owe you a goddamn thing. Stop begging. See how many likes I got? 54 likes. All right. Got 44. 54. All right, Y Skinner. What's going on?
What's going on, Kev?
So, yeah, man, you are conflicted in this from the way you were commenting. So, where is the conflict?
Well, first of all, I always wanted a daughter, and I never had a daughter. And I just always wondered what it would be like, and what how I would be as a dad, the father of a daughter. And I actually met a couple of women here in the past 6 years, uh, real nice ladies, and they both had daughters. And I thought maybe I had a chance at having a daughter, but it didn't work out. So and I, I kind of you know I kind of felt bad because I missed out twice, and they would have been stepdaughters, and I would have taken on that responsibility, just not because of not just because they had daughters. I liked it both of the women, but that chance to have that daughter was there. So um, I really, you know, I guess what really kind of bothers me here is how much money this guy got. And I wonder, if I had $800 million, what I would do. And I was sitting here thinking about it, and I kind of to a little bit of a conclusion that I probably would be telling her butt off and handing her money at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
You
Oh,
see
okay.
what you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and it does seem like that. That's what you would do. Granted that you had a daughter, and from what you've stated in the past, you had a very strong, tight knit family unit with good women in your family. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from. But when you say mixed feelings, there must be some feelings on the other side. But I'm okay. But I will tell you this: as a man with a daughter, it's yeah, my daughter is the most precious gift to me that I've ever received. In any this really like I don't care how great a Christmases I've had. I don't care how many vacations or outings that I had where things have gone my way, or just had the good fortune to get through something alive. Nothing will ever be greater than the birth of my daughter, ever. And to be blessed with her presence from day to day is, the greatest thing that I could ever have experienced. And is my beating heart.
Yeah.
But granted, she doesn't end up 38 with 4 children by different dudes and totally defiant of any advice I'm trying to give her, or acting like me and her mother didn't put any effort into trying to instill some kind of sense of morality or common sense within her. Is there's so much about this situation that we don't know. We don't. Oh boy, Donnie.
Man, listen. So I just did a video talking about this shit, and really, I have a strong feeling about a parent taking care of their child. Right. So if you are a rich, affluent parent, 800 million in the bank or 800 million net worth, you should be able to take care of your children. However, when your children turn into grown ass adults, have multiple kids, possibly by multiple niggas, nothing I can do for you. This is like me saying, hey, listen, crackhead, I understand that you want to do drugs and go out here and smoke that chronic and get the best rocks that you can get. So I don't want to see you homeless. I'm going to go ahead and furnish the whole house for you. I would look like Boo Boo the fucking fool, right? This woman is 38 years old. She has 4 kids. He's been paying for her until last year, 2020, until she got in the media and said some slick shit about her father. Therefore, She should be a lot further ahead than the rest of us. Absolutely no excuse whatsoever. I saw Mark Lamont Hill get up and say that you can't say that she's not hardworking. That's a fucking lie. This bitch works for Uber Eats and does DoorDash out of a stolen rental car. She's a fucking liar. If he's sending her money, it's not $200, it's not $50. We all know that he's sending her enough money to take care of herself and them kids, or at least pay the rent. So you have a free, what, 38 years of not really doing anything? Why are you not farther ahead in life? Why have you not built an empire? Why have you not built your own legacy? Instead, you crying to the media about how your dad won't pamper you and your fucked up attitude. I personally think Dr. Dre was right for shutting her the fuck up, shutting her off, and not giving her any more money. Why? Because apparently, if you give a man a fish, that nigga still don't know how to fish. He's teaching that bitch how to fish. Plain point, plank, whatever. You know what I meant. Game over at that point. She needs to learn how to fish.
Point blank.
Yeah, point blank. There you go.
Point blank. And then that's what I was saying. You know, you're his eldest daughter, yet you weren't around this man with a notepad growing up. This man was constantly making money. But anyway, you know, some people feel different.
I don't
Yeah.
know why they would feel different. Possibly because they're fuck ups in their own life and they wish they had somebody come in and save them. But the reality is, look at Jackie Chan, right? Jackie Chan said he's not giving any money to his son because he feels like his son is a fuck up. Son, you got to go out and go get it. I'm not going to hand you the world so that you can get a cocaine addiction and kill him. Kill yourself, right? How many people do you know if they had a whole bunch of money that they would OD in within a year? They would just go fuck it off. That hurts. It really does. If you have the amount of money to set your kids up to win in life and they're nothing but failures personally, that hurts on a cosmic level to your soul. I couldn't even imagine it. So yeah, you get up and you say some slick shit about your dad, I'm pulling all of my funding away from you. And you can cry about this, that, and the third, but you put yourself in a position at the end of the day. There's no reason this man paid your rent for 38 years that you don't have anything to show for.
Well, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
30. It wasn't. Well, yeah, I guess it was. He took care of her.
He hasn't seen her in 18 years. Okay. Oh, that's tragic. You know, you ain't seen daddy. But somehow you still got a fucking check. Hmm. So dad's check's been coming for 38 years through the kids, through the everything else. And I'm sure he's adjusted just to, hey, listen, you got 4 kids, baby. I love you. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that the kids is good. It's little Lincoln's birthday, little XYZ's birthday. Cool. I'm gonna send you something. Yeah, my daddy ain't shit to the press. He's a terrible person. This, that, and the third. Oh, okay, Rich. Well, you must live on your own, so that's cool. You don't need this money no more. Now she crying in the press. Hey, to me, you just look like a fucking fool. There's no other way to cut that.
Not at all. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I have I'm sorry, Y Skinner. But I have a super chat from Black Warrior Spirit. Thank you for your support of the channel. Really appreciate it. He said I would give her money and take pimp the baby daddy's money for balance. Salute kings in the chat and panel. Yeah,
It,
all right.
was she a crackhead though? Do we know that?
No, we don't know anything. Like I said, I don't know whether all her kids are by the same man. I don't know if she had a habit, but at the same time, I get what Donnie's saying. You know, you don't. I mean, no matter how much you love or hate your children, you don't want to participate in their destruction. And a lot of these rock, you ever heard about a lot of these famous kids, famous people's kids dying? A lot of that is because of drugs and a fast lifestyle. So you don't want to participate in your own child's destruction. Now, and from the way it seems, this girl is just dropping babies left and right, and she's in debt. How long has she been in debt? Was she in debt before her father cut her off? She's talking about she's in debt.
She's in debt.
Yeah, yeah, she's in debt. I mean, you can accumulate debt in 18 months, but how much of a serious debt can you accumulate in 18 months?
She pulled a debt very quickly. Let me tell you why she's dead. And I've seen this on multiple occasions because this is a common occurrence of girls in Atlanta who have affluent fathers, but they want to live in the hood. And that's probably the most tragic shit I've ever seen. I actually had a conversation with you about a friend whose sister is on the same tip. So basically, daddy pays all the bills. Daddy pays the car note. Daddy pays the house note. Um, so you have money to kind of go and do what you want to do. So chicks who are in kind of it cities, Atlanta, LA, etc. They go out and they go smoke hookah. They want to go be seen. They want to be social media influencers. They want to be the bad bitch in a crew because they're tied to XYZ. And daddy's giving them a stifle or a stipend, should I say, every month to make sure that they're taken care of. Well, she went out and said some slick shit about against her dad. I don't know why she said it. But at that point, she had to furnish her own lifestyle. So imagine you went from having everything taken care of, probably a bullshit job, if any job, um, to still having to be on the scene, still having to be this, having to be that. You probably had stellar credit. So you had maybe, cards with $10,000 on it, 5,000, $2,000 on it. And that shit racks up. You on a Nobu, you eating out. Girl, don't worry about it. I got it. Oh, you got it? Cool. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, don't worry about it. So that bill went from, $120, $200 to $400. And this is on a consistent basis. So I'm more than positive she put herself in that position trying to floss, trying to live the affluent lifestyle with no financial backing. She's a dumbass. At the end of the day, she's just a bum bitch that put herself in a bad position. I have zero sympathy for this woman. None. You're 38 with 4 kids. Why are you not a business owner?
Hmm. All right, damn. That makes sense. Real shit, Dunny. Hurry up and buy. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciating this. She's a woman with a split between her legs. Any woman who can't get what she needs is a piss poor excuse for a woman. No excuse. She be needing shit. All right, that was
Yeah,
brilliant.
let me ask you a question. Just common sense question, right? You have a wife, kids, mortgage, car note, etc. So let's say you had a fairy godmother that came in and said, "I'm going to go bippity boppity, boo, your car note is gone. Bippity boppity, boo, your house note is gone." Uh, what are you finna do?
Shoot, the bread. I'm feedback. I said, okay, what I would say is the bread that I was using to pay the car note and the house note or whatever, I'd be stacking it. I'll be stacking it and, really trying to, anything to move forward, trying to, go ahead and pay off other stuff or get ahead on other things. And just, I guess, maintaining, not trying to fuck up further and create more debt. But that's just me, though.
Yeah. But that,
To be honest, I'm sure I'm actually positive at this point. If it was me as Dr. Dre, and I got news that my daughter was living in a car doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and making it happen, that would probably be the highlight of my fucking year because I know that she's not a fucking lame duck. Oh, bitch, you can go ahead and move. Good for you. I'm proud of you. You out here doing something because she clearly wasn't doing this shit before.
Oh, so you say it is thank God she's at least working.
Eh, okay, so here's just the common sense aspect of it, right? If you have a job in California, chances are you're gonna at least make minimum wage there, which is what, $15?
Yep. No, she said that she was working. Hey man, I'm getting feedback.
Go ahead.
Okay. She said that she was working a warehouse job. Like in the article, she said, "I've been working odd jobs. I've been doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I'm been doing a warehouse job for $15 an hour."
So she
So
makes minimum wage. She does Uber Eats and XYZ, meaning she didn't have a job prior to this shit. She had all the chances and opportunity to go to school and elevate herself, and she passed on it because she's 38.
yeah, yeah, that's the way things are shaping up to be. Like when like we all understand that we have times to. We have time to get things done and to set up a good plan for our lives to operate efficiently. And I get it. I guess she felt like since she had a rich father that he was always going to be there, no matter how much she did, and like because of his money, she doesn't have to do right. So you do the common sense thing. That's all I'm saying.
can't this just be a product of being spoiled from a young age? A lot of parents spoil their kids rotten.
Yeah,
You know,
spoil them to the point where they can't, to the point where they can't be self sufficient. And this
yeah.
is what this looks like. Like I said, all of Dre, all of whatever your child does once they get to a certain point or a certain age in their lives is no longer the responsibility of the parent. Like if they choose not to heed your advice, if they choose to just go ahead and do all kinds of fucked up shit, then that's on them. And it looks like she kept like for starters, I mean, looked like she had some kids that she could not afford, or at least she could afford up until that point. Like,
She didn't give a fuck. That's what it is. And that's what nobody wants to really just sit up and say. And believe me, y'all can listen to me on every broadcast I've ever been on. I'm the lightest lightweight when it comes to saying stuff about black women. This is a black woman issue. A black woman has put her in the mindset of you are entitled, you are owed, you should be able to do this. And that's the problem. Why is it that everybody comes out here and says some slick shit about Dr. Dre, and this woman has a whole living mother? Why is she not capable of living with her mother? That tell you something. Why can't you live with your mama? Well, Dr. Dre is a millionaire. No, no, no. Something is wrong with this young lady, and that's what nobody wants to talk about. It's this young lady. She has a sense of entitlement, and I would even submit to you that she has some kind of issue. Like I joked about it, like she's special needs. She might have some legitimate issue that we don't know about, and that's what's fucking her up.
yeah, and a lot of it is pointing to maybe drug use, because like them, the kids of these famous people, they live big, they live high on that shit, and sometimes they die. I mean, she hasn't died. Maybe she was a little loose, but it's still like Donnie, like all of us are trying to get to is like there are too many holes in this story. There are certain things that are not adding up, and there are certain things that we don't know or we're not being told about this.
Well,
For
she got some issues for sure. There's no doubt about that. She's got some issues, and you just having babies after babies. You know,
It's not like she had one or two kids. This nigga
yeah,
had four.
yeah. She
And
got
then
a
talking about,
3-year-old now, right?
oh, hell no. I hope not.
Yeah, I think the last one is 3.
Yeah, the last one is three, but here's the thing.
I'm out,
If
fellas. Long live the habitual line steppers.
Oh, okay, Donnie. Word, and thanks for coming by, Donnie. That's my habitual line stepper brother, and check him out on YAS4W. I have a few of his videos in my community tab, so just go check out my community tab, and you're not subscribed, subscribe. So anyway, long live the habitual line steppers. But yeah, getting back to the topic, I don't know. It's just is like, what should we do? Should we just to prevent this from happening to our women? Should we just go back to I will say basic parenting 101, instead of making sure that we're always checking our sons, that we check our daughters as well. I mean, I'm a man with a daughter, and this situation right here is like, people probably would be thinking that I would be siding with the daughter instead of Dr. Dre, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like that it would be my duty as a guy with a YouTube channel, to say the things that I feel is right, that I feel is the right thing to do. And the right thing to do is basically to hold your daughters to the same level of accountability that we hold our sons. And when I say I don't have a son, but there are sons in the black community, and there is a level of accountability and shaming that we do to our sons that we don't do to our daughters.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
we are able to sensibly hold those levels of accountability, we'll create less Latanya uh, Youngs, less Latanya Youngs, and more of these beautiful, strong, and I use strong in the sense of mentally kept, not strong in the sense of you got an attitude, you got to be a bitch, because that's not strong to me. That's being a bitch. Strong is mentally kept, and it is something that men and women can pull out. So, strong, fair, balanced, and accountable. Let's start raising our kids better, so we can prevent
Right.
shit like this from continuing to happen. And Chaos Rain, I see you. What's going on, Chaos Rain?
What's good, brother?
Mm.
I've been watching this story, which I've heard about months ago before. Now it's resurfacing now in the past few days or a week ago. And my thing is this, and I was on a panel with another great content creator with a bunch of ladies and some gentlemen, and in their rhetoric, a few of them, they feel as though that a woman, that if it's their daughter, it should be complete unconditional love forever. And to me, this is a problem because now you're fueling the next delusional bitch out here amongst our community. There should not be you give your children, or especially daughters, everything, because you spoil them, you create a sense of entitlement, and eventually, what's going to happen? You're going to have them feel that they don't shouldn't have no responsibilities, hold no accountabilities to their own outcomes in life, and you're going to find women like this chick right here that's 38 years old. I'm still call her 40, but she's 38. She was born 1983. To feel so that having multiple babies, not putting use of just getting actually educated, regardless if your father puts time or not. If he's giving you some form of resource, you should make use of the resource you're getting so that way you could do better as a young woman that becomes a woman in society. You should not be sitting there laying on your ass and depending on your father because your father is a millionaire. And sometimes you could sit there, be about these streets, fucking, sucking, having children that you're not even raising now, and then come here, cry foul, where other stupid fucking black women sit there, take her fucking word for it, and feel because Ms. Miller, she should do something. No, your father only does what he can, and if you disobey, he has the right to cut you out. You should be glad. You should be glad your father's still supplying you money. For him to sit there and decide to pull the plug, you did some out of order in the blessing of your own father. He had to decide, say, I'm cutting you off, bitch. Go talk to my lawyer. And a lot of sisters getting mad at the few black men that's pushed back against, and the few men, I mean, and the few women that's pushing back against and agreeing with the men in regards. Because women are stupid, guys. They know say if you're a woman, you should be like us, strong, black, independent. If you have a millionaire father and he's supplying money annually, monthly, yearly, and you didn't make no use of the time, energy, the money you're making for since you're 18 till 38, roughly 20 years, you have failed. And not only you fail, the consequence you're going to suffer is you're going to be homeless. You're going to be broke. You can't go back to your baby fathers. Hell, you have 4 children. That means you're not even put any time and energy raising your children. So you're a dirty fucking woman. So do I need to go on Kev? I can go on, because this is as raw as I'm going to get, and I don't do this on my channel, and I get pissed off. But the 5 women said that this man, your father was so horrible. He beat on women. He probably didn't put no influence in your life. He neglect you, so you got to be a teenager hoeing up, fucking sucking, getting pregnant at teenage age. All this, it's your fault that you turned wrong. I said, well, listen, bitch. Okay, but now you're adult. Either you're going to come out of this or you're going to stay in this dependency and keep saying, woe is me, woe is the world. The world doesn't owe me or you any fucking understanding. Grow the fuck up. And for a millennial like herself, she's not getting it. So they're going to ride this as much as they want. But at the end of the day, she fucking lose. Because now you're cut off. So, like Roger said a month ago or 2 months ago, you're going to work until the day you fucking die, like everybody else, including men. So get in the habit of working 3-4 jobs. Hell, if you're going to write a book on your father, make your little money now. But after that money dries up, you're going to be dependent again. And trust me, the money will dry up soon, fellas, if that's the route she's taking it. Because we already know for the last 20 years, you're not good with money. You're not even good with your time. So
Maybe it's more than what we know, and maybe if I knew a little more, I maybe be a little bit more, firm with it. It just,
Well, it's like you're allowed to think what you want to think on the topic. I mean, our perspectives seem to be a lot harsher on it than a lot of people, but that's definitely okay. Let's see, Hybrid Impact 83. Derek Lewis
no, but we
is
should be
about to
harsh.
fight Cyril Gunn. Yeah. We should be harsh. Yeah, we should be. It's
We should be harsh because think about it. This is the problem with our children today. The ones that's been raised by one parent or two. We're not putting in consideration we're crippling our children. Even certain celebrities or people that are millionaires, they'll tell you personally, the ones that have some roles that play in their children's development, they don't even spoil their children to the point where once they get adults, they're going to just keep supplying money. Shaquille O'Neal said best. He said, I'm $400 million rich, not y'all. You're going to go to school. You're going to learn a trade, get a fucking degree, hopefully a good one, and you're going to try to make this money on your own. I'll help you once you succeed. But other than that, if I'm not going to let you be dependent on me. Same thing with all the other white Caucasoid millionaires and billionaires. They don't do this with their children. Because it is proven, and this is a fact, a person that is rich and got new money that's a millionaire and eventually becomes a billionaire, the most likely chance their children being better or foreseen very slim, because depending on how you raise your children, they could possibly get the money and go back to poverty again, because they know the importance of money and how much it took your own father to work his butt off to get to the way he is. They have no appreciation of actual work, like Kevin said. They think it should be handed to them like a silver platter. And a lot of women, let's be honest, they think the world should give them everything in some platter. Give it to them right there. I don't have to work nothing. I should be a type of guy got a pussy. You can live that, you can believe that, but boo boo, the way how men are waking up and not put up with certain things, you're not get what you always ask for. Matter of fact, you're not getting it now. The only thing I see in your future is dick and bubblegum. for the tight little bitches.
Was it Dick and Bubble? Man.
Yeah,
I mean, cause some of this
you
be
know
on,
that
cause some of this be on
bubble
Dre though,
gum,
you know.
minty flavor one.
Say what? Say what?
It said I want a man
You
to.
Borgin chaos.
Okay.
Borgin.
He was
Go
saying
ahead. Go ahead. Though. Go ahead.
no. He said something. The guy was saying something. That's what I'm bored right now.
Well, what I was
Oh
saying
no,
was,
I'm about to jump off
cause some of
YouTube
this
because
be
I
on
can't
Dre
do it.
that he should have cut off earlier. You know.
Maybe. You know, but
Yeah.
like I said, it
I'm
with
cut,
her.
I'm
Oh,
cut, I'm cut your butt off at 5 years. I'm tell
I
you
mean,
now.
what with her being 38 and her oldest being 16, that means she had her first child when she was like 21 or 22 years old. So you're saying, yeah, is it really Andre that he didn't cut her off? You know, maybe with the first maybe with the first grandkid, he was like, cool, but like I said, depending on like the first, depending on how all the other decision making came about. I mean, but him not setting if anything is on him for real,
Hmm.
is that him not setting the condition that look, you might have to do for yourself. Maybe he did, and this is why maybe he did cut her off a little bit too, a little bit late in the game. But who knows? He could have said, "Look, once you get to a certain age, I can't do this for you anymore." You know, and he probably didn't set that condition. He probably figured like after a couple of kids, I'll go ahead and help her out, blah blah blah. But if this gets to be too much, then blah, And then with her speaking out against him in the media, then that was just a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I just, you know, I keep going back to that 800 million.
Yeah, a lot of people keep going back to the 800 million.
I
Uh,
mean, they like, I be like, I'm in her face saying, what are you doing?
Let me see. Winston Tokahisa says the only way I would say Drake is responsible is if they can prove a track record of not giving her the life skills she needed to be self sufficient. But you got to understand a lot of that falls on the mother as well. What life skills her mother was teaching her, or I mean, what wasn't her mother like his first wife or something like that? Let me see. Let me
Yeah.
let me let me do a little digging.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because I mean, the first wives had to be getting something too, wasn't she?
Let's see. Dr. Dre, first wife. See. No, his no. I think the only one he's ever married was Nicole. Uh, yeah, it was yeah. If uh, I'm just doing a little quick Google search on my phone. Latanya Young mother. Let me see. Who's Latanya Young's? Oh shit. Oh, well, look what I found. Who is Latanya Young's mother? Dr. Dre got Lisa Johnson pregnant when she was just 15. Oh my God.
Wow.
Said on May 29th, 1985, a judge ordered Dr. Dre to stay at least 100 yards away from Lisa Johnson after she alleged that he hit me in the mouth and bust my lip, according to a police document. Oh, so there's
So,
another accusation of him hitting a woman.
so
Mm.
first mama was 15 when he started dating.
Uh, when
First,
when let me see, when supposedly when she got when he got her pregnant.
With this daughter here,
Yeah, Latanya. Yeah,
and he was all
yeah, but that was this. This is another. Let me see. Hmm. Who is Lisa Johnson? According to the Sun, Johnson was raised in South Central Los Angeles before she moved to LA's West Side. She began dating Dr. Dre, whose real name is Andre Young, at the age of 14. So how old was he? So let me do some math. Uh, Dr. Dre is what, 53, 54? What?
so the daughter is 38.
Yeah, the daughter's
Well,
38.
it most likely he falls in the range of 17 years old.
No, let's see.
16 to 17 years old at most.
All right, because like yeah, we throwing these ages
Because
around
Dr. was born
like
1987.
because
In any case, the girl that she was 14 though.
yeah, he was 18. So I mean, they started dating when he was 17 and she was 14. So if you want to call him a pedo or molester for that 3 year age difference, then go right ahead. It's not going to make much sense. But he impregnated her when he was 18 and she was 15. So
Yeah, he was probably a senior in high school.
yeah. So the reason why I had to go ahead and verify this information because they threw out 15. Because people, the first thing people were going to assume is that he was like 20 or 22 or 24. They're going to assume that he's some kind of ridiculous age so they can make him into like this pedo molester type. But
Yeah, yeah,
uh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Winston. Yeah, it's not an ideal age. It really
yeah,
isn't. It really is for an 18-year-old. For I mean, depending on the state law, he did not ever get convicted, but he did have a restraining order because she alleges that he hit her in the mouth. But that's the first one. But doesn't look like doesn't seem like that she is a person of affluence or any
yeah,
kind of person who had any kind of direction in her life that would have led to her raising a successful child.
yeah. Well, he basically a kid himself though. I mean, even though you're
Yeah,
grown
yeah.
at 17 or 18, you still not mature enough.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that you're not at 18, you're not old enough to have common sense because at 18 I was old enough to have common sense. So that can only go so far. Uh, yeah, it's just that uh the eight like yeah 18 and 15 is I don't want to go too far off into that
Yeah,
black warrior spirit saying 18, 15 is borderline. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like 20 or 22 because
yeah.
I mean it is stranger things have happened and a lot of people they get on this little high and mighty horse like they feel like that's too much of a gap in age. So your opinion is your opinion on that. We can argue that all day, but it is what it is at this point.
He probably just spoiled that daughter once he got to making money. He probably just spoiled her.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I get that. I get that. Roger, did I drop the link? He said Roger asked me to drop the link. Shoot, so yeah, Roger should be up here shortly. Yeah, I did drop that link.
So when did Dre really hit maybe his first million? At what age?
So, I don't know. I
I mean,
don't know.
I'm too old. I'm too old to know.
I would probably say. I would
I would
probably
think
say. After the second album, after the second NWA album.
because I'm too old to know. You guys was in the rap era, you know.
Yeah, but probably about his like he probably was like he was probably in there pretty good like after the Chronic though. Cause the Chronic was definitely a classic, and I know how these record companies try to do these artists once they make them a bunch of money. A lot of the artists, uh, get the raw deal. But yeah, I would say it's probably with the Chronic, like straight out of Compton and the other NWA album from Ruthless Records. Probably he probably didn't get his first million out of that, but definitely after the Chronic.
And what year was that?
It was 19. I think the Chronic came out in 1993. Let me see. Let me make sure that Dr. Dre the Chronic. Let's see. It was released December 15th, 1992. Close enough. Yeah, but what up, Roger? What's going on?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on?
What's up?
What, Roger?
Yeah. What's up, guys? First of all, I'm gonna say I don't think age was an issue at all. This seemed to be like Drake got his high school girlfriend pregnant. People keep going back to the age thing. If he did anything that was statutory rape and he hit the woman, you see what I'm saying? The police already looked into it. If age was an issue, he'd already got caught up in that anyway. You see what I'm saying? So if the age was off, because I know people trying to calculate it, what is it this and what? Because people want him to have committed statutory rape. If the age was off, I'm sure the police would already took care of that because he already dealt with the police about the particular woman. You see what I'm saying? Why would they just? Oh, they gonna just let this nigga just go for statute? Like, no, they're not doing it. Especially not back then.
Well, you got a statute of limitations too.
No, but he had an issue with the woman then. You see what I'm saying? So their ages were known by the police then. Their situation was known by police then because she accused the man of hitting her. So if they investigated it and he got and he had to stay, what it was, 100 yards or 100 feet away from her, all.
Yeah, Roger just gonna borg the fuck out like that.
Well, I mean, he was having sex with her, so I mean, 18 and 15, he was wrong, but I'm sure he probably did something,
I mean, but the high school,
back then.
The high school girlfriend theory might be valid. It might be actually. Sounds like Roger's trying to come back in. Roger, you borging, man. Locutus, Star Trek, man. Come on now.
Can't fix no sandwich at the same time. You trying
Okay. Hey y'all, and for those of you who are trying to listen in on what Roger's saying, is basically she don't deserve shit. Yeah, he about to come back in. Yeah. Said Roger, fix your Wi-Fi, LOL. But they would have jacked Dre on the statutory rape. It was legit, which is correct. Yeah, I mean, him having to have dealt with the law with the whole restraining order thing. Yeah, if age was a problem, they would have done something about that.
They may have did something to him though. It's just being high school. They probably.
I mean, but for what they're trying to scrutinize him on, especially with the whole him having to pay his ex-wife $300K a month, and then with this hitting the media, they would have definitely brought it up if it hit him on something like that. They wouldn't have pulled any punches.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Well, I had two boys, and I probably wouldn't cut them no damn slack.
Yeah, we don't. We
And
yeah
I
yeah
probably, I probably said, man, you better get the hell up out of here. You know.
yeah. You bring up a very interesting point. Yeah, about how we do treat men differently in these situations than we treat the women. Tell you something. Like back when I was 17, I was working at a McDonald's, and there was this man with his two kids. I'll never ever forget this. There was this man with his two kids, and he came by basically looking for a job because he was living out of a hotel and he was begging for money. And he was his two kids looked hungry, and when he came in for the interview, the woman there was a woman that was eating on her own, like the black lady, looked like she had just got out of church. Um, she had said like, "Look, here's some money." Um, and I remember what she said. Like, I'll go ahead and pay for these kids to get some food. Get them a couple Happy Meals, which I thought was very nice of her. But then she turned around and looked at that man. Look, look, look. I don't want that man to have anything. I'll just get it for the kids. Kind of fuck that man. Just kind of like that for real. Just
Hmm.
blunt with it. Just blunt with it. So, but he had his two kids though. That was the one thing that that lady did not look at. But that was one of my first lessons in how society treats men as opposed to how they treat women. And and you see quite very frequent examples of how we do save women from situations that they create. So that was a lesson, and I had to keep my shit together if I wanted to stay afloat and survive, because the likelihood of no one being there for me if I were to screw up is very, very great. I mean, even though I do have a family that I could go to if I needed something, that could not be the go-to every time. I was gonna have to learn how to scrape and grind and get it for myself. Because
Hmm.
I also like, although I did feel for that particular family situation about him and his two children, and they're hungry and he has to beg in order to survive. Even though I did feel some empathy at the time for their situation, I knew I did not want to end up like him.
Yeah. But if you had a son, let's just say you had a son that was 25, he was still at home, and you had a daughter that was 22 and she was still at home, would you be trying to make both of them leave, or would you get a daughter some
Hmm.
slack? Would you get a daughter some
Mm,
slack?
no,
You wouldn't?
no, and I'm really speaking like it is like this is like the say for instance kind of. I don't know this from experience, but if I had a son that was 25 and I had a daughter that was 22, I really begin to wonder, like, okay, what the fuck are you two doing? You should be out here getting it for yourselves. And because the one thing that I will implement with my kid is that the better you do now, the better you're going to do a lot later. So me and her mother, we're constantly on her about getting her schoolwork right, and how to her little own little way of putting systems together so she could implement that and it evolve with her as she goes into adulthood. So if she was, even though I don't have a son, if she were 22 and she was still living with me, and it wasn't no kind of forward motion plan going that she would implement on her own, I would be a tad bit concerned. I would. I would be like, okay, well, what plan are you working on to, get up out of here and live on your own?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can't stay here forever. Even if you could, I ain't gonna be here forever. And I'm an older dad. I didn't have my child when I was 20, 27, 17. I had my child when I was 37. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
38. I had my child when I was 38.
oh man,
So I
you did
mean,
wait. You did wait a
yeah.
long
So I'm not going to be around forever. It's like God willing, I have a long enough life to see my daughter okay, growing into adulthood. But Granted that I'm still here. Like I said, if she was 22 and it just seemed like that she had no plan whatsoever, I would start being concerned. I
Yeah.
would. If granted, I had a son, and we're inherently harder on our sons than we are on our daughters.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, we are. So I'm not going to pretend like that does not exist because, growing up in a family with siblings, I had two older brothers and a younger sister. Like, I had it covered from both directions. So I understand. I understand that all the time is not going to be fair and it's not going to be balanced. You're always going to have your challenges that go along with that. But
Yeah.
granted that, yeah, if I had a son that was 25, I would, and he seemed to have had no direction or no course of action, I'll definitely be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're gonna have to either get a job and pay me some rent, and then the ultimate plan is for you to eventually build up enough money to get the fuck up out of here." you know,
Yeah.
because it's because what like we need to teach the children that if you work hard, like I said, if you work hard now, you'll live better later on. You need to teach these kids that it's much greener on that side. It's like, instead of having to be dependent upon me and you doing some stupid shit to make me cut you off, you already have a plan in place to where if you're going to say some stupid shit about me, you have your own plan in place to where
Yeah.
you can sustain and survive. The stupid thing that she did was she went to the press and spoke badly about her father, and
Yeah.
then, but you have your father paying for everything.
Yeah. I mean, that
You
was that was some stupid shit
you have your father paying for everything, supporting you all the way. You like whenever you speak of your dad to the media, you should have pom poms in hands. Yay!
there. Yeah. I mean,
Dad is the motherfucking best. She should have been like that. Whatever reservation she had with her father she should have personally dealt with it with her father. Now she can't even get in touch with her father. She got to get in touch with her father through his lawyers.
yeah, that was some stupid shit.
Yeah,
You killing the golden egg.
yeah, yeah. Like think about it. Think about it. If all you had to do was sit around and not do a fucking thing but collect money from your daddy or whatever. I mean, like daddy's like, okay, look, I got you. I got you. Would you speak? I mean, granted, you got common sense. Would you speak out against that person?
No, man. I mean, that's really some stupid shit there. I mean, it really
Yeah, that's like that's like biting the hand that feeds you with extra sharp teeth.
is.
Shoot, that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then it seemed it. And let's not sugarcoat this. It does seem like he had difficulties with the baby mama since she put a restraining order on him. If
Yeah.
he hit her, that shit is wrong. And I do not condone violence against women, no matter how much haters may say that we over here in the manosphere condone violence against women. you know, I don't
Yeah.
condone violence. I don't condone violence against women. So if he did punch her in the mouth, he was wrong. He was very wrong. But the fact that how his daughter is and the relationship that he seemed to have with the mother, the mother might be very flippant, might have a horrible attitude. I'm going to tell you about a lot of guys, and like, there's no excuse for men to lose control and hit women. There's no excuse for that. We're brought up with that. Now, if you're defending yourself and it's a life or death situation, by all means, have at it. Mike Tyson, that bitch. I'll tell anybody that. You have a right to protect yourself. I don't give a damn who you are.
She come with a knife at me. You know,
But but motherfuckers be acting like, and people are going to probably feel some kind of way when I say this. They're going to probably say you're victim blaming, Kev. But we gotta understand, like a lot of them girls be like, they be getting physical with these dudes. They be getting physical in their face, yelling with they stank breath and they spit. What you gonna do, nigga? Fuck you! Putting
Yeah.
fingers in the forehead,
Yeah.
like even hitting to a point.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, there's no excuse for her just straight up hitting her in the mouth. Sometimes guys, and they're telling guys the right thing that you should do is walk away. But once that person puts their hands on you, it's like I'm a strong, firm believer in no one should put their hands on anyone. Once anyone cross that line, hey, you might as well consider yourself in danger.
Hey,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, we got a Bomani I'm a Jew. Okay, let me do this real quick. Hey, Mr. Bomani I'm a Jew. What's going on?
Peace. Can I be heard?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
No, what's cool? What's cool? What's up, kid? I don't know if it's actually a Jamu. I don't know if you remember me from the Facebook group back in the day because I got kicked out.
You got kicked out?
I got put out.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Was there any reason why? It's like you.
Well, I said some inflammatory shit. I don't know. Can I be heard by everybody or just you?
You can be heard by everyone.
Okay, I'm only showing you on the screen.
Oh well, yeah. I just want to make sure you weren't a troll or anything like
Oh
that. When I see names I haven't seen before,
no, I'm
it's
in the chat room under. I'm in the chat room under J Nero.
oh okay, J
But you
Nero.
guys knew me as Bomani from the Facebook group.
Oh okay, all right. So Bo Money, what's going on? What you said some inflammatory stuff. So was it me that kicked you out?
Nah, no, one of
I
them.
don't remember.
Nah, man, it was a while ago. One of them black females got pissed off about what I said.
Oh, okay, all right.
One of them
So
black women got mad about me.
yeah, and yeah, I did. Yeah, I did make female admin, and one female in particular. That was the biggest mistake I ever made in the group. So I'll own that. I'll take accountability. And a lot of people were kicked out without my knowledge or whatever. But if you would have simply inboxed me, I would have handled it. But
No, you had
it's
said that. You had
it's
said that. But I was like, no, I've been thrown out of places before. Ain't no big deal. Yeah.
okay. All right. So J Nehru J Nehru 226.
Now, y'all call
Bomani
me Bomani. Call me Bomani. It's cool.
Bomani. Shoot. What do you have to say about the subject matter?
Oh man, that yeah. I didn't realize he was I guess paying her rent and giving her an allowance every month. Because that's what I had read, that he was paying her rent and giving her an allowance. Now you 38 years old, you got four children. I'm sure after you had the second child, your father was like, "Hey, you know what I mean? Let's not make this mistake again." You know, don't come back with a third child unless you got a husband, right? I'm sure he counseled his daughter about that to the best of his ability. All of a sudden, boom, she come with a third child. I'm sure he talked to her again. You know what I mean? Hey, goddamn, how many babies you gonna just keep having, right? And so I'm sure they probably had some dialogue about it. He's probably thinking, okay, maybe three gonna be that's it. She ain't gonna have another one. All of a sudden, she gets a fourth, right? But he still provided for her. Now, keep in mind, Dre not rolling like us. Dre rolling with motherfuckers that got daughters like Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? So the company he keeping for some of those men, that's normal to have to provide for their adult children. So I don't think it was no big thing for him to be provided for. He probably would have did it forever, right? Because he rolled with people that do that. But for you to come out and say something about your father, oh, that was treasonous.
yeah, that's the worst part of it.
That's treason. You know your father then came from nothing, single family household. Mother didn't even support his dream. You know what I mean? Everything was against him. You known for making the track "Fuck the Police," and for you to come out against your father after he been paying your rent and giving you an allowance every goddamn month. Oh no, that's treason.
But Kev,
Kings
wasn't his
would
wife
have killed their daughter.
um Wasn't his wife going behind his back while he was in the hospital doing some crazy shit?
He ain't had nothing but drama dealing with black women.
He was
That's
in the
why he married
hospital,
a
got
white
to
girl.
die.
I'm just saying, isn't that why he married a white girl? Because he ain't had nothing but drama dealing with black women. I'm just pointing that out. Right? The women he was attracted, he was dealing with nothing but drama. Didn't he used to deal with Miss Chalet?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, the one he just divorced, is she white?
I think she's classified as white. She looked white to me.
Well,
She can
hell,
pass.
he was dying and she was stealing stuff out of his house. What kind of shit is that?
Oh, he had some bad luck with women. That's all. I mean, he had some bad luck with women. But I'm just saying, the black women he had dealt with also nothing but drama. So
Yep.
that's what he. So I'm just saying he's attracted, drama, right, with the females he's dealt with, including his mother.
Say
Now,
his
if
mother.
y'all, including his mother, if y'all watch the movie Straight Outta Compton, he didn't have no good relationship with his mother either.
So was Dre a little soft?
Was he what?
Was he soft? I mean, was he beta? I mean,
Oh, shit. Oh, I
ain't
you
it?
know I never even looked at it that way.
I don't think he's
I never
beta.
looked at it that
I
way.
mean, but
I,
was it look like to me everybody trying to screw him.
I mean, trying. I mean, that doesn't mean that you exactly beta.
They trying to take
There.
advantage of it.
Yeah, because he got money. There's a lot of these rich types that they try to take advantage of because they got money, or
Well,
like there are people. Look. Let me tell you something, man. I've seen this happen in families. Like sometimes people don't even have to be millionaires in order for people to squabble over money like that. So imagine at that level what his family members how his family members treat him because he's almost a billionaire. Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if he at least get 3 or 4 calls a week of someone asking him for something.
it's been like that for years, I'm sure. But as far as taking care of his daughter, to me, that's not no big thing for him because I'm sure he knows people in the industry that are in the same position. You just look at Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton ain't known for doing nothing. And her family been taking care of her, and it's a bunch of them like that. Rich kids, you know what I mean? That their parents just take care of. So, but that's the clique he rolling with. So I'm just saying. So to me, that's no big deal. Him providing for his daughter. You speaking out against your father, oh, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, that's going too far there, man.
That's going way too fucking far.
Yeah,
That man should be Jesus in your life. You 38 years old with 4 kids, no husband. You should be saying that man is a demigod.
yeah. You
And
talking shit.
let me tell you this. We live in this area. We live in this understanding of believe all women. Now, for her to speak out against him, that could hurt his money because we have a tendency to automatically believe any woman that says anything about any man,
That's
and
true.
especially a black man. Like when Michelle A was dealing with him and saying that he beat her and all this stuff. Who bothered to ask Dr. Dre? Besides that one article that I found, which I'm probably about to pull up here in a minute, that who bothered to ask Dre whether any of that shit was true or not, and it ended up that he denied it completely. But because of you know someone said something, they believed it because it was a dog whistle. He beat her. So let me pull up this article real quick. And, let me see. Let's see. I think I pulled it up like it did. Dr. Dre beat Michelle A. Yeah, let me see. Dre is as an Google has it like extremely violent, abusive boyfriend. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. How come I can't find the article I found earlier? Okay, let me put in another keyword. Just bear with me for a moment. Did I? Mm, survive it. Oh, okay. Forbes. Okay, is this the article right here? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Here it is. I found it. It was a Forbes article from 4 years ago. All right, and it was called "Surviving Defamation." Mission lay Dr. Dre and the law. Okay, so but like I said, it's like if he didn't deny it, I would not have done this, but I had to find something. So they said that her claims is that she needed corrective surgery for a broken nose. Now it goes on to say Dre's legal team sent a cease and desist letter to Sony Pictures before the biopic aired. According to reports, Dre denies accusations of ever abusing the R&B singer. And oh god, I hate ads. I hate pop-up ads. I'm sorry. Oh jeez, get off the screen. Okay, there it is. I just scrolled up. Okay, it said Dre denies accusations of ever abusing the R&B singer and claims that Michelle A never filed a police report nor sought out medical help. In addition to the cease and desist letter, Dre's attorneys threatened Michelle A with a defamation of character lawsuit to potentially influence her into backing down from releasing Surviving Compton. Michelle A relies solely on testimony from those who witnessed the abuse, since she admittedly has no legal documentation to prove that Dre ever abused her. She responded to Dre's claims that they're saying that she responded to Dre's claim that she was never physically abused with this tweet. My heart really hurts at the fact that I was never beat. Really? Okay. How do you guys on the panel take what I just read to y'all? How do y'all feel about that?
Something like that she lied, right?
Well, that's his claim. This is his side. Okay. Um, I don't know. There is accusations of abuse out there, but once like let me put it to y'all like this: once there's one accusation out there, somebody's gonna try that shit over and over again. They're gonna call you a beater. It's like, okay, if she accused him of this, I can accuse him of this. And I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I mean,
She responded to Dre's claim that she was never physically abused with this tweet.
yeah, she said my heart really fought. I think that was sarcasm. My heart hurts at the fact that I was never beat. Really,
Uh,
but she said she never had any legal documentation to prove that Dr. Dre ever abused her. So it's like she never filed anything. So
yeah.
yeah, she just
Well,
just you're
see,
supposed to believe that she just was in fear and terrified and just put up with it.
these women gonna have to start filing, man. If somebody doing something to you or raped you, you gotta go to the police. You can't be sitting up here talking about, well, I don't wanna, have to go through it
Also,
all
hey,
and testify.
hey,
All that you can't be
hey,
doing
let me
that.
say this
You
real
gotta,
quick.
if it really happened, you gotta report it.
Let me say this. Let's all be careful with our use of that R word too. Yeah. So, oh, Roger wants the link again. Maybe he's gotten away from the Borg, gotten away from Star Trek. Kareem said police reports and order of protection is on his public records. So I don't know if it all true. So they said there are police reports and an order of protection. Yeah, that was from his baby mama, Lisa Johnson. And I'm not saying that it's false, but Michelle A has no legal documentation. I mean, admittedly.
I mean, but this has nothing to do with his crazy ass daughter.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget she said he tried to kill her.
The daughter did?
No, I think they're talking about Michelle A.
No.
Yeah, but well, like I said, but one like I knew, and I think that some people already tried it. That once this shit hit with Dre, that they were going to bring that up, and like I said, I had to find something if he denied it, and yeah, he denied it.
Mm.
Marco Polo Corleone, what's going on? That's just a piece of paper. Anyone can get an order of protection. Cortez Smith, Michelle A said he shot her. He shot at her head and missed. Man. God damn. Rael.
Michelle just mad because she fucked up the bag. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, she stuck around them for a while. Like she even did she even go to did she go to Death Row with Suge? Oh yeah, that's right. Suge was her second main thing. So, but Rael, he produced her records and put her on in the industry, and this is the thanks he gets. Dre should go find a white female singer like he did with Eminem. Damn. Yeah, man. You know, there is like a lot of black females have been getting flippant with guys that have been putting them on. Look at that Fox Soul um, interview with Ice Cube. Shoot, Lisa Ray is sitting on the panel.
I'm surprised he even went on. Yeah, I'm surprised he even went on. Like I wouldn't have put myself through no shit like that.
Yeah, and then like a lot of people forget that she was fucking him and Suge Knight at the same time. Oh man, yeah, Cortez. She cheated on Dre with Suge to cause more drama. Rael, she got a baby with him. She got babies by Dre and Suge. Mm, mm. So I think the general consensus is she might have just lied about being beat, and she wanted to cause drama, and she wanted to sully that man's reputation. But I know this is off subject, but let's see, Hybrid Impact 83. Thanks for giving me that little update on the Derek Lewis Cyril Gunn fight, and Cyril Gunn has beaten Derek Lewis. Damn. Damn. Shoot, I like Derek Lewis. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I'll be watching his highlight reels all the time. But hey, it's Cyril Gunn's time. So, but Francis Ngannou, shoot, good luck to anybody that got to face him. So, anyway, shoot. Roger said he was about to come back up. So, guess we just waiting on him. Yeah, but go ahead. That was you, Y Skinner?
Yeah, I mean, if she's sitting up here talking shit, to the media about him, then hell, I'm out. bad, bad as I wanted a daughter, hell, I'm out on that shit.
Yeah.
Piece of the panel. But I mean, I'm just from his viewpoint, right? You're a billionaire, right? Or you're just about a billionaire. You're not traveling in the same circles as the average motherfucker. You taking helicopters to work. You flown privately. I'm just saying, you dealing with true killers, because that's what them Jews is. They killers.
Mm-hmm.
So you running in a totally different circle, right? That man's self-esteem and confidence has to stay high at all times in order for him to survive the motherfucking monsters he's dealing with. That's why when he saw that, he said, "Oh no, I got to cut you loose."
Yeah, he can't have that going on with the people he running with. You know, they probably asking them, man, what the hell wrong with your goddamn dog?
Oh, they probably clowning him.
Yeah,
Yeah. We forget that there's an element that embarrasses the parent if the child does bad. Because let me tell you something. If my child goes south and I'm still alive, of course those fingers gonna be pointed at me. They're not gonna say, "Hey, Kev, what happened to your child, man? That's too bad. I feel bad for you, bro. Your child going off to the wayside." What they're gonna look at me and say is, "What the fuck did you do as a parent?" So yeah, parents. I mean, kids can embarrass the parents, and if even if the parent isn't responsible, the way society is set up, the parent's gonna be responsible anyway. So let me see.
yeah.
So Mark Polo Corleone says that Tupac clapped them Michelle egg cheeks too. Yeah, said Daz said after she fucked Tupac, Dr. Dre left Death Row. Yeah, and then when it started Aftermath, which he had much success with. But if that is true, that shit is kind of funny.
Now
You
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, Kev. Remember that when that brother walked away from Suge, he let Suge have it all. Keep that in mind. That nigga started over.
Yeah, that's because like you don't want to try to take something from someone that as rumored to make people drink piss.
I'm
Like,
saying he gave up that catalog of music. He gave up the Chronic, didn't he?
mm,
Didn't he have to give up the Chronic?
I think he did.
I think he had to give up the Chronic. He had
Who
to
had
give
to give the
up,
chronic?
Dre had to give up the Chronic when he walked away from Death Row. All that shit belonged to
Uh,
Suge Knight.
well, no. Matter of fact, in the movie, he did say he gave Suge Knight everything and want to start Aftermath in 1993.
Exactly.
So yeah, he had to give up the chronic.
He had to
He
give
had
up
to
the
give up.
Chronic.
But you see
That's,
how well Suge Knight was not doing well after Dre left back in 1993. You
no,
notice it?
but this speaks to how great this brother's talent is. You feel me?
Yeah,
I mean, he gave up one of the greatest hip hop albums in the history of hip hop, now didn't he?
yeah.
And he still came back. How can you, as his daughter, say something bad about him? That man was supposed to come back from that.
Yeah. Oh, you saying he wasn't supposed to come back from Death
He
Row?
was supposed to come back from giving up the greatest record in history. It's arguably one of the greatest hip hop records in the history of hip hop, right? Arguably.
Yeah, but
It's one of those good albums back in 1992, 1993. Yeah,
I'm just saying, arguably, it was considered one of the greatest hip hop albums, right? He gave it up.
I think One for a Dre with the Chronic is one of the best West Coast albums of all time.
He
yeah,
gave it.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Probably still,
And
probably.
matter of fact, that's what put West Coast rap on the map.
Exactly. It
Besides niggas with attitude, it was actually that and the Chronic itself.
Straight out of Compton and the Chronic. Yeah, I agree with that.
Come on, when niggas with attitude
Although,
came out, they came out in 1988, 89. And as the group was still together per se, you know, and I think they disbanded back in 93, I think.
yeah,
I mean, 91, 92, one of the years. And then he came up with his version of the Chronic in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish we could play some of your songs, but y'all know you're monetized.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I know. Hey, yeah. Then he came out with Chronic 2001, so you know that one was pretty good too.
Yeah, it was fair.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
But if you think about it, to me, Straight Outta Compton really just put them on the map as so-called gangster rappers.
yeah, yeah. I listened to Straight Outta Compton today. Straight Outta Compton. I mean, it had some gangster elements to it, but it's not as egregious as the rap is today.
Oh,
They,
not at all.
no,
Not even close.
I mean, they were talking mostly about fighting other niggas, like getting them some pussy, some good.
Most of the shit they talked about was happening in the hood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were telling stories about what was happening in street life.
Exactly.
They weren't trying to influence a culture to do bad things like the framing of today's conversations.
Exactly. So I
Right.
wouldn't put the Chronic in that category, but I would definitely say, to me, Straight Outta Compton just kind of made them known as the gangster rappers, so to speak, or the gangster.
Yeah, Straight Out of Compton really ruined it for a lot of guys at that time that were doing the lighter, more
Oh, for sure.
fun
Absolutely.
type rap, like guys, it edged guys like Kid and
Like
Play.
Too Short.
Jet, no, not Too Short. Too
Yeah,
Short could survive, but like guys like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, guys like Kid and Play,
Yeah, those
yeah.
guys like MC
It took
Hammer,
them out. Yeah,
so those type of
especially MC Hammer. You know,
yeah, those
yeah.
type of
That actually killed MC Hammer when those music started to come out more popular.
yeah,
Yeah,
because they made fun of MC Hammer in the formula. Remember DLC, the formula.
right.
hmm
Yeah, 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 oh, yeah, yeah. A lot of people forget that Dr. Dre brought out the DLC. If the DLC hadn't have gotten to the accident, he probably would have been West Coast, one of the greatest rappers to ever come out of the West Coast. But that void was filled by Tupac Shakur. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, but Dr. Dre, like also Dr. Dre's success after the Chronic. Yeah, he put out the Aftermath album, which was basically a compilation. It was okay, but you got to attribute his success to the discovery of Eminem, and then turn around and discovering 50 Cent.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, actually, Eminem found you know his
But
success.
look at all the drama. I'm saying, with all the drama he was dealing with the black women in his life, right? That brother was not supposed to. He was not supposed to come back from that. He was supposed to just fall, be another nigga sleeping in the corner. You know what I mean? Just drinking his sorrows away, talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda. That didn't happen to him.
Mm, not at all. Hey, but we got Roger back, man. Roger.
What's happening?
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Yeah, you were Borging like that last statement that you was trying to make. Like you Borged all the way through it.
what?
So, was there
Well,
any
I mean,
key points where you trying to hit at the time that you might want to restate?
I think what I was probably trying to say to get Borg was that when Dre was younger and dealing with this woman, they had an incident that took them to the police. Okay, if they had an incident that took them to police, age was not a factor because I know people trying to make Dre out to be a pedophile. And I know not too long ago I was looking at stuff in Illinois. Now, a state to state could be different, but stuff is similar. If you're dealing with a person like a high school age, you get like a 5 year range, where you can't be more than 5 years older than a person because you have seniors that date freshmen, and just because you have your 18th birthday does not mean you have to break up with your freshman girlfriend. That's
Yeah,
how the law is set up for that type of stuff. So I know people trying to make Dre out to be a pedophile, but looks like all Dre did was get his high school girlfriend pregnant.
but
Which
but
happens in a lot of cases.
let's be honest, Roger. When they look at the black man, and we all know kids are gonna be kids, regardless of their so-called those not. I mean, they're gonna look at a black man as pedophile regardless. You know,
Well, my thing is
we already know some young people that's 2 3 years gaps older than the girls
no,
on the
no.
average.
Okay, my point is, I don't care what they say. I'm just looking at what he is. He ain't. You see what I'm saying? If he went to the police dealing with the fact that he was accused of hitting a woman, the police investigate. What's the first thing they're gonna do when in investigation? They're gonna find out your names, your ages, your descriptions, where you live. The basic information will be taken into account. So if he had an age issue going on with her, it would have came out then.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So screw what
Well,
they
you
got to
can't
say about it.
tell dumb fucking niggas that shit, you know. So
But somebody got to tell them, and that's what I'm doing.
yeah, I mean,
Sometimes
you
you got to
tell them,
beat
but
people
it's gonna
upside the
go
head.
one ear, one the other, man. I mean, they gonna say they're gonna
Well,
listen
I'm
to.
saying
We ain't gonna believe you. We ain't gonna listen to you. Who are you,
uh,
nigga, and all that
some
stuff. You know?
sometimes you got to beat people upside the head with information. And if they that dumb, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You beat them upside the head with it. But even beyond that, Dre's daughter is 38 years old. Dre's daughter supposed to be married and supposed to be off living her own life at this particular point in time. I don't know what type of psychobabble people want to say to connect Drake to taking care of a 38-year-old woman. He is not. That is not his girlfriend. That is not his wife. She is a grown woman. He has no responsibility when it comes to her. Period. And then the fact that he even gave her money, he wasn't even talking to the broad. He already fulfilled his debt. Whatever child support he owed or whatever case, all that's been paid. He done gave her money when he didn't have to. He don't owe us squat. And just because you build an empire does not mean somebody gets to inherit it. And that's just the sad part about black folks that they try to do everything they can to not understand. Dre don't owe that broad nothing. She is a loser for real. She's 38 years old, so she over 30. She's unmarried. She got 4 kids. Now, all kids could be from the same guy, but what kind of person are you that somebody would give you 4 kids and still won't marry you? They're from multiple guys because I heard it was at least 2 guys involved, and I heard one of them is locked up. What kind of person that one of them is at least locked up and the other one don't want to have nothing to do with you either? And it's a huge tale that her kids are not with her; they are with friends. And if your kids are with friends instead of their own family, meaning the dads or the grandmas, granddads, uncles, aunties, that's a big tale. Dre's daughter has an issue with authority. She ain't listening to no man she's dealing with. She ain't listening to her daddy. You know what I'm saying? She knew to working, obviously. Yeah, she got a warehouse job, but they say she do Uber Eats and like what DoorDash or something else. Something else. But there's something else. You need a
Yeah, in a
you need a
warehouse
vehicle
job.
to do. Well, a warehouse job is the only job you don't need a vehicle to do. She's renting a vehicle and have 2 jobs that you need a vehicle to do, which tells me what? She got those jobs once she got the vehicle. You see what I'm saying? Or she using the vehicle to do those 2 jobs. Because what happened to her other vehicle before she rented that vehicle? This is a woman who ain't making good decisions. You know what I'm saying? Stupidity is a choice. How are you 38 years old? You're fresh into working 9 times out of 10 because you probably never had a job in your whole life until Dre cut you off. How do you be in that situation and you not be okay? Usually a homeless person needs a job to get on their feet. She got a job and she ain't on her feet.
But
I
see,
mean,
Roger, that's the question right there. What happened uh 15, 20 years ago?
what difference do
Is
that
the
make?
reason. Well, I mean, we understand what's happening now, but something
Okay,
evidently
I'm not.
happened to this
I'm
girl,
trying to hear you out. I want to hear your point.
15, 20 years ago that she ain't wrapped too tight.
Yeah, but she was an adult 15 years ago. 20 years ago, she was an adult.
So what happened?
I mean, we don't know what happened, but this is just a person that's irresponsible. She could have been on drugs or alcoholic or something like that because again, she has a job. She's still not okay. Drake cut her off. You know what I'm saying? What was said on my show. You know what I'm saying? No way for me to actually confirm it right now, but they said Drake didn't cut her off to January 2020. How you 38? Well, you probably about 37 years old, at least 36, and you can't make you without your daddy's help at this point. How was anybody that's 36 years old so dumb they can't make it without their daddy's help?
Spoil, spoil rotten.
A spoiled
Yeah,
kid.
but let,
Okay,
but let,
Spoil rotten.
but
I had a neighbor the same. His mama adopted him and she got a $200 and some thousand house, and he pretty much drained her all of her money. She got money loans off her house trying to help him. He just kept asking for money and asking for money. She just kept giving it to him till she still owed on the house when she died.
Well,
Just spoiled the
again,
hell out of it.
as I said before, stupidity is a choice. She chose to give him money. All he did was ask for it. She made the choice to give it to him. She didn't have to. She chose stupidity. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, can that guy now make it in life now that his mama is his mama gone at this point?
Well,
You said
both
she
of
died
them gone. He
old
died.
money,
He
right?
died last year. He was like 60 something years old, but he had some health problems.
Oh,
But
so did his mama die first?
yes,
And he still kept on living with his mama being dead. So what does that show you? You can make it without her.
yeah, he did well. He went to school and all that. I mean, he ended up divorcing his wife and everything. But what happened was his mama
I mean,
just spoiled the heck out of him, and he ended up. I mean, he did well. He was just an idiot. He
no,
ended up being
I
an
believe
idiot.
you. I believe you. But what I'm saying is his mama died, therefore she cut him off due to death. And he still made it out okay. Just like a 36 to 37-year-old woman should be able to make it out okay if they daddy cut him off. You are not a child. It's not like Drake cut off a 17-year-old. You cut off a person that's in their mid 30s or late 30s, depending upon what the age was. What 36-year-old can't make it in America without
Well,
somebody else's help?
yeah, well, she still should have been able to do something. I agree with that.
Yeah, well, I'm
She
saying
still,
so at some point in time, either she gonna make it or we just gotta accept she's an idiot. It's okay. She won't be the first dumb person that we've ever heard of. But at 36 years old, she's at least 36 before she got cut off. At some point in time, she can't make it at 36 years old. We just gotta say she's stupid.
Well, Dre may know that about his daughter.
yeah, she should have been cut off a long time ago.
I'm just saying he may know that about his daughter that she can't make it. That's why he been
Well, I
taking care
mean,
of her.
whether he does or not, though, Drake can give as much charity as he want to. Once she hit 18 years old, it's been charity since that point. And he done took care of her for a long. He done gave her a lot of charity over the years.
Oh, I
If you
totally
can't make it after all that charity, you don't deserve to make it. That's all I'm saying. I wish my parents would have fronted me a bunch of money till I was in my mid 30s.
Oh no, I hear you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not convinced that Dre has cut her off. This is to me a suspension, and he's trying to teach her, hey, you're not gonna be talking about me and expecting still to get my money.
An 18-month suspension.
Hey, I
You
don't
know,
care if he did cut her off.
Has it
look,
been
He
18?
ended up. Yeah, I don't care if he cut her off forever. We talking about somebody who's at least 36 years old. We are not talking about a 16-year-old that got cut off. I mean, come on now. Are y'all saying that none of us was? I mean, who believes a 36-year-old that never had to do anything, who got fresh legs when it comes to working and all that type of stuff? If you get cut off, you can't make it at 36. Like, are we really saying people are that dumb that we don't know how to make it at
no.
36?
No,
She
no. And
was. She
let's tell
ain't
the
that dumb.
truth.
She,
Roger, my good brother, you've not been following and paying attention. There's some kids that are young adults that have not been cut off yet, but once they got cut off, they just fall on their ass to the point where they're just gonna stay where they're at. It is out
What?
here. It does exist.
There's people who make it and people who don't. Ain't both of them making a choice?
I mean, that's a choice, but some
What?
people don't like the
What?
choices but it was dealt to them. But at the end of the day, that's the choice
No,
you have to
chaos.
make.
This is the thing. This is the
And
thing.
okay,
What 36-year-old tried to make it and couldn't?
shit, I
Sure,
can't.
some people that didn't do nothing with their life. I grant
Probably
you
some
that.
dudes I probably know very little, but when a woman, shit, she done.
Chaos. All I'm
Yeah,
saying is, sure, there's people who don't make it, but
there
What person at 36 years old tried to make it and couldn't? Have you ever heard of somebody at 36 years old who
Yeah,
tried to do something
but
with themselves and
Well,
actually
my
couldn't get it done?
my thing is this, Roger. 'Cause I know you live in Chicago, and I'm here in the East Coast, and I somewhat seen it happen, but very rare. You get me? So I'm not
Okay.
saying it don't exist, but it is out there. So
What's out there? Where is there a 36-year-old person that tries to make it and can't? What is their story?
she's still in shock, Roger. She got cut off. She went into shock, and she's still in shock.
So what? If you in shock, that means you ain't doing nothing. You ain't trying to make it. Again, what 36-year-old tried to make it and couldn't do it?
But she ain't tried. She
Give
ain't
me at least
tried.
one.
She ain't
Well, if she
tried.
ain't trying, that's her business. She don't have to.
since you have this discussion, I hear a lot of women make fun of certain black men that's homeless and all shit, and saying, well, for a man, is either you gonna be productive or you stay in a ditch. Homelessness awaits you. That's nothing new. But when a woman gets cut
You got to
off,
come up. If a
when women
man's
get
not
cut off,
productive,
it's like we got coddled these bitches and say, the world's supposed to come save. No, different from a
well,
man.
if a man's not productive, he'll end up dead, homeless, or in prison. That's where he
Yeah,
gonna go.
yeah,
One
yeah.
of
I mean,
those.
I ain't put the
But
prison
but
part, but you
but
get what I'm saying.
but what 36-year-old person, and it don't even if you say woman, it's even worse. You're 36 years old and you try to make it and you can't. I don't know of any story ever of a 36-year-old person in our American society today who tried to make it and literally could not. I don't know of anybody like that. So unless
Well,
somebody gonna come up with at least one example, I
If
ain't
there's
trying to
something,
hear.
if there's
well,
something
I
wrong
would
with
say
you,
this,
if
since
there's
you
something,
heard it, Roger, is the
look,
first time for everything. You're witness to it.
yeah, look, if
It
there's something
exists now.
wrong with you, that can happen. When there's something wrong with your gut, that happens. There's
And
something
here's the
wrong
funny
with it.
thing. And here's the funny thing. There are people
Hold
that
on,
are
hold on, before you
crippled.
say that chaos.
There are people
Hold on,
that lose
before you say
limbs.
that chaos. I'm not talking about people who have actual mental issues or people who have actual physical issues. I'm talking about a regular person. What regular person who can think straight, who has use of their body, can be 36 in America and can't make it?
That's just it, Roger. She's not a regular person. There's something wrong with her.
What's
She
wrong with her?
ain't saying. I don't
Ain't nothing
know.
wrong.
That's what
I'm not going
Ain't
by
nothing
that
wrong.
bullshit. Ain't no fucking
well,
wrong with
people
this
saying
bitch. She
they saying
got
she was
feet
on
and
crack.
arms. She can get up and work him like everybody else. Nothing wrong with her.
They
Stop
saying
it.
What,
they saying she was on crack.
bro?
Well, then she
I'm gonna
fucked
say
that.
this.
She better get.
She
She better get clean up quick.
Dre cut her off. Dre cut her off. She got rid of them kids because she didn't want to deal with that responsibility. She got a
Yes.
warehouse job, and now that she rented that vehicle, she started doing two jobs where you need a vehicle involved to do those jobs. Now I don't know if she was doing those jobs before she got out of whatever vehicle she had before that happened. But somebody who has that much sense ain't somebody that's mentally messed up to a point where they cannot make it. She wants to make it how she wants to make it. Why would you rent a vehicle for 2,300 a month? You know what I'm saying? At 2,300,
Yeah.
you probably can pay rent or mortgage out there.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a sense of you know you she ain't in her right mind. She
No,
don't
no,
have no
we can say
sense. She
No,
don't,
no, no. No
you can say
excuse.
she we can say she's financially literate, maybe, but
yeah,
she ain't crazy.
no, she ain't crazy. She can do something. Like you saying, she's working in a warehouse now. She can do something.
Yeah,
But she
so she'll be fine. She got them kids out for hands, and she got a warehouse job. She can go and get that truck back. Let stop owing on that, pay that off, and then go get you an apartment. She'll be all right. She ain't taking care of no kids anyway. It's just her.
and lay up and have some more kids.
Well, I ain't saying all that, but it's right now it's just her.
What? What?
If it's just you and you already employed, you ain't got that big of a problem.
Yeah, if you can do warehouse work and drive Uber, then
No,
you
no, no. She need to get the vehicle up. But this is what I'm saying. It's just her at this point. She don't have custody of her children according to the information that came out. So it's just her. If all you got to do is go to this warehouse, it ain't like you got to be the most beautifulest thing in this world to work in the warehouse. You fine. That's where you start. The hardest thing about being homeless, if you're trying to get on track, is having an address so you can get a job. She already got the job.
She probably not gonna have that job long. She ain't never worked. She ain't gonna be able to do that job. If she ain't never
Well, that
worked,
goes into choice. That goes into choice. She can make it if she want to.
Well, either way, Dre should see that shit as treason. He should be done. That's how he should see it.
well, when she come out and start talking about him publicly, then I can see, cut her butt off. You ain't gonna talk about me.
Yeah, y'all do realize this is her daddy, right? If your daddy is in this position and if you're in a foul situation with your daddy, I'm pretty sure you can go apologize to your daddy. The woman is rebellious. She don't want to live by nobody's rules. Why you think she ain't in a shelter right now?
Yeah, but Kev says it's been 18 months. She ain't apologized yet, has she?
What I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. The issue is the fact she don't want to go by nobody's rules. Why you think she's homeless? She's a woman and she don't have custody of the children. How is she homeless if she want to abide by somebody's rule? She don't have no friends, no family, no auntie, no uncle. She could be living with her mama right now. She could be living with her brothers. Her sisters. She has siblings. You see what I'm saying? What about aunties or uncles or whatever the case is? No
Yeah,
friends gonna let you in, and you're
yeah.
employed. This is a
Don't know.
person who
Yeah.
don't want to follow rules
Don't nobody want to fool with her.
because she don't want to follow rules.
Yeah, Dre should have cut her off 15 years ago.
I mean, that don't even make no difference. He can give charity the way he see fit. It's his money to give charity, but it's
Yeah,
been charity after her 18th birthday.
yeah,
You see
but
what
if
I'm
he
saying?
cut her off earlier, maybe she would have done something.
Dre is not responsible for no person who's 18 and above. That ain't his issue. It's not his problem.
When did she lose custody of her children?
I don't know that she lost custody. She just don't have custody.
She don't have custody.
Her
So she,
kids, based on reports, her kids are at friends' home. So she may not lost custody at all. The whole point is she grown. She can go do what she got to do. And if she don't want to do what she got to do, she should be homeless. Even the shelter got some rules.
that's true.
Well, you have to be in at 9 o'clock and still.
Well, it don't make no difference. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't blame Dre because she don't want to follow nobody's rules.
No, you can't blame Dre, but
And,
I mean,
and Dre gave
if it was me, I'd have cut her butt off 15 years ago.
I mean, all that's beside the point. At the end of the day, a father can give as much charity as he wants to his own children. You see what I'm
I
saying?
totally agree. That ain't the issue for me. The issue is her going to the press. That's the only issue here.
Well, I mean, if he cut off because she went to the press, so what? She's 36 already. That's what I'm saying. It ain't like he cut off a 15-year-old.
No, I agree.
Already 36. Who cares if she cut off?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Roger's right. I mean, I said earlier, 18 to 21. I said earlier, and really after 21, she had her first child when she was 22. So
Yeah,
from the moment she had her first child, plan was already supposed to be in motion.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. Cut that shit off, early.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, my thing is, I'm not gonna condemn Dre for whatever decision he made and whatever charity he chose to give to his own child. He can give as much charity he wants to his own children. They his kids. But at the end of the day, he did not cut off some helpless infant. He cut off a 36-year-old. You have no excuse to not be able to make it.
When you ain't never had to do nothing, that's the way it is. When you ain't never been had to be responsible, and then all of a sudden 20 years come and then you get cut off, you be like, damn, I ain't never had to do
Oh,
this.
and so she got fresh legs. She good.
You got arms and legs, huh?
Bro, I mean, it's folks that work 30, 40, 50 years. They barely get to retire. They dead soon after retirement because they've been working their whole life. You talking about somebody with fresh legs out here in the job market. She fine.
She can get something to eat, huh?
Now, what I'm saying is, what she don't have no 20 years of working under her belt. She don't have 20 years of stress or dealing with no bosses or running her own company and stuff
No
like
man,
that.
cause she a
She don't,
fucking bum.
what the point is, she has not had to deal with the physical or mental stress of putting food on the table on an everyday basis. She ain't had
Mm-hmm.
to deal with that 9 times out of 10. Well, I mean, the information came out that Dre paid her rent and gave an allowance. What stress has she been under? So a 36-year-old with fresh legs into the workforce should be fine. You know what I'm saying? I had my first official job at 16 years old. So you know what I'm saying? I am in my 40s. This woman just now getting started. She got
Yeah.
fresh legs. She
Oh my goodness. What the fuck did I just walk into?
Well, that's the way. Yes, she shot. She ain't shot, Roger. I told you she ain't shot,
But
man.
but Roger, think about this. She just now started getting into the workforce, and
Yeah.
she been so caught up for almost over 20, actually 19 years, because since she was 18, her father was been giving her some money, and it makes me think, say, okay, from 2001 to 2020, roughly 18 years up to that point, or 19 years up to that point, you've been living a free ride for almost a generation. And now that you're cut off, you just got a super shock. Say, oh, what I'm gonna do? I gotta work 2, 3 jobs. Like people say, woe is me. And here's the funny thing with a lot of black women. I find black women find ironic that when their father's a millionaire, that they should be coddled and get taken care of by the old man for the rest of their days. And I said, no, there should be a cutoff point.
Yeah.
You should be as you turn 18 motherfucking years old, you should be looking for a man and be a wife, or looking just to get a man to wed you so he could take care of you and be the best wife as possible. You should not be sitting dependent on your old man up until he hits the dirt. No, you
man,
should be
man,
that.
Well, she
Yeah,
she
e-
she haven't been.
that's on.
everybody on this panel done ran some kind of business or done worked some kind of job. If
Yeah.
you didn't have to do any of that until you was at least 36 years old and your body is totally fresh, your mind is totally fresh, how
Mm-hmm.
much is this really gonna bother you? You're absolutely fresh to this situation.
I agree.
I said I got my first official job at 16 years old. So that
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
mean I started working at 16. That was just one that was on the records. You see what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
and my thing is she didn't have to start till she was 36 years old. Man, you're fine.
Uh,
You're fine. You know what I'm
ev- ev-
saying? I was
evidently,
working
she
at
not fine.
16,
Roger. Evidently, she is not fine.
bro. I started officially at 16. At the
Yeah.
age she got, I was 20 years in the game already.
But you worked all those
I
years, right?
cannot look at some.
And the funny thing
I
about you,
can't
Roger,
look at some. Bro, she a rookie coming in from the
Yeah.
street. I'm a
and here the funny thing
28-year-old
Yeah.
about
black.
Roger, you
Yeah.
you
Fine,
you've been working for over 28 years, and this one just now just started.
Like you say,
I
she
mean,
a rookie,
y'all
man.
laughing
She's
at
a
that, but
rookie.
my thing is,
No, but I had to
but this
laugh
is what I'm
because
saying.
it's
But she
insane.
a
It's
rookie.
So,
insane.
You just said she a
so she
rookie.
has, so she has no mental stress, no physical stress from being on
Mm-hmm.
jobs and answering to people or situations for over 20 years. I'm not gonna look at her and think she got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I already
It's
know I
people
got a
that don't
problem
make
with.
it to my age. It's people that done had strokes and heart attacks and everything, and they never made it to my age because stuff started messing with them. She just getting started. She ain't got no problems.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't fish
Evidently,
that cry about
evidently,
it's a broken nail. It's oh I broke my nail. I need the money to pay a pedicure to fix my nail.
Man, I
evidently,
had
she
a
got
friend.
problems. She talking
No,
shit to
I
her
had a
daddy.
friend. Man, I had a friend. I had a friend who was an engineer, became a supervisor, and had a stroke by 27 years old. Okay,
Damn.
she she fresh. He had actual things to think about. He had to worry about getting through school. He had to work about how he gonna get college paid for, how he gonna take care of graduate school, what company he's gonna work for, what position he's gonna be after this apprenticeship that he couldn't stand. And then he had a team of people to start controlling after he done made it to where he was and had a stroke at 27 years old. She ain't got none of that going on. She fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, but his daddy wasn't worth $800 million.
It
And
doesn't
that's why he had a
it doesn't
stroke.
matter.
Because I
It
bet if
doesn't
his daddy
matter.
was worth $800 million, he wouldn't have had no stroke.
Mm. And he had a brain aneurysm for the fucking
Well, I mean,
stress.
I'm talking about somebody I know, not Dr. Dre. So my point
Okay.
is, this woman is coming in fresh into the workforce at 36 years old. She has no actual problems. She got a job. She don't have the stress of taking care of kids because somebody else is taking care of her kids. What
Yeah.
is the issue? There is none.
The issue is she wanted to be rich. She wanted to live a comfortable lifestyle forever. You hear stories, Roger, of some
Yeah,
women that have
She
been
still
sucking
got a
dick.
chance to do that.
Hold on, let me say this, Roger. You hear stories on other streams of women, young women, or women that's in their 20s, 30s, said they want to be a sugar babe. They want to do this for a career up until they're dead. So they've been sucking dick since 16 till now and said, I look at this as a career. I need to do this for the rest of my fucking life. So to her thinking, she said, I'm gonna be getting this money for the rest of my life until my father hits the dirt. And I'm probably gonna get some more money because he's gonna put me in the will. And obviously, since you got cut off, you're not gonna be put in the will, baby.
yep. A lot of celebrity kids do that.
And here's the funny thing.
Okay, I mean,
Your grandchild might not get put in the will if he has you fuck around with him. You get me? So yeah.
all that's beside the point. You 36 years old, you've never really worked, and you just found out you had to take care of yourself, and you don't even have the responsibilities of taking care of your own children from day to day. You're fine. You're absolutely fine.
Yeah,
You don't have no issues.
yeah.
You ain't had nothing stressing your body over time. You're not gonna break down because you've been stressing about getting this assignment done or getting that assignment done or trying to please this client or building this business to the next level or a certain organization is coming through to give inspections and that. You ain't dealt with none of this stuff.
Yeah,
Now you that
real
that
world problems.
now you
Real
can go.
world
I guess you can
problems.
go somewhere and just make some sandwiches.
Yeah, but she been running them streets, Holmes. Trust me, she done had a hard life.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. She be sucking some hard dick and producing our babies for her whoring life.
Uh,
Whatever we
the
speculate she did, she voluntarily did it. She's fine.
All right, let me read this super chat from Stoic One. Thank you. Peace be unto you tonight. Roger has really crystallized this with his mode of reasoning. It's over. She must now swim under her own power, or she can do stuff like sleep in the bed that she made. Uh,
And it.
okay, so one. Okay, I'm getting tired now. So, listen up.
Kev, you should drink some coffee.
Yeah, I do. I have long days, unbelievably long days.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let's go on to final statements. Whoever wants to go first, Mr. Imp, you go first.
Well, I came in on the conversation. I went up to McDonald's to test out my connection, but in hindsight, Mr. Dre should have been cut her off. But then again, I don't know about that situation because everyone's situation is different. As a reference, which I was just talking about, I have been diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, but I am currently working right now. So I do have a hard time dealing with people, but I am working to improve myself. That's all I have to say.
All right, and as long as you take steps forward and not steps backwards, sir, that will make you a-okay. Yeah, a lot to digest in such a short statement, though. But thank you once again for coming up, Mr. Imp. And look, best of luck and health to you. So, okay, whoever wants to go next.
Well, may I just
Uh,
say real quick that I'm proud of Mr. Imp for basically taking care of his situation. He has an actual diagnosis of something's wrong. Dre's daughter fine and ain't never had to work. And if Mr. M can make it, she can make it too. I'm sorry.
All right, Roger. Well, thanks for adding that. And yeah, that is a very strong point there. But once again, thanks for coming by, Mr. Imp. Who wants to go next?
well, I'll go. I'll go.
Why
I,
Skinner?
yeah, I think he should have just cut her off early, real early. I'm not saying it's his fault. Or, I mean, anything like that. But stop. Just cut her ass off, and then she could have maybe she could have got herself together 15 years ago, and maybe she'd be all right. But he didn't, and she's flawed. She's spoiled, and she's so spoiled that she went to the media talking shit. So it's time to cut her ass off, and that's what I got to say.
All right, and what goes along with that, why Skinner is this old saying that we often hear growing up: "Better late than never."
Word up.
All right, but thanks for coming by nonetheless. So we got Chaos Rain, Bomani, and Roger left. Who wants to go first?
I think Roger says close statements already.
Well,
No,
say
I
what?
did. I
No, he
didn't.
Did
didn't.
you? Okay. Nothing much. Thank you.
Okay, Chaos Rain, thank you for coming by once again. And all right, Bomani or Roger.
Oh, sure, I'll go. Um, I'll just say to me, I have to agree with Roger. The money doesn't mean nothing to Dre. He's got plenty of that, and the little bit of money he was giving her for him, that's no big deal. I think to me the bigger issue is it took him a long time to figure out that his daughter had been poisoned against him. So once he did figure it out, he cut her off. You know, so that's pretty much how I see it. I think he sees that his daughter hates him, and that the mother more than likely trained her to hate him.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally see that. Seeing that he had problems with the mother in the past, but it also ultimately ends up being that her mother didn't raise her worth of shit. Sorry, but the mother's responsible too. But anything else? Money.
He just unfortunate that they casualties, and hopefully that's how he sees it today.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Thanks for having me.
all right. Yeah. Thanks for coming up. Really appreciate you giving your input to this subject matter. And Cortez Smith, he said, "Kev, only a black woman can be the daughter of a billionaire female and have kids and still be homeless."
Shout out to Cortez Smith. Look,
Man,
that's too
but
real.
yeah, but go ahead, Roger.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I mean, real talk. If I was completely homeless and didn't have squat right now, and I got a job at a warehouse making $15 an hour, I believe I can make it. I'm sorry, I just don't see how that is so crushing. Again, when if you ever talk to a homeless person, the hardest thing about being homeless and getting back on your feet is people on the address. She got the job already. I could make it with 15 an hour and nothing. Like I know I can make it off that. I'm not a complete idiot. I can make it. Um, and when it comes to her, look, she's an irresponsible person. Obviously, that's how she got in the situation she's in. You bite the hands that feeds you, but you want to keep getting fed. Stupidity is a choice. You didn't have to go to the media to say something bad about the man. You can say all the bad stuff you want to say in private. Just like whoever guessed something bad to say doesn't say it in private because we ain't heard about it and everybody else still getting money. You see what I'm saying? So I mean the equation ain't that hard for me to figure out. The people who ain't made no nothing, who the people who said nothing negative about Dre getting money, the person that said something negative about Dre ain't getting money when it comes to the public view. It's not a hard equation for me. Um, I'm not gonna say when he should cut off. It's his daughter. He can do whatever he sees fit. You can give your children charity all your life if you want to, because they your kids, and I totally understand that. And if you're gonna give charity, why not give it to your own children? So I get that all day long. But just because your daddy giving you something, don't mean you got to be a complete and utter loser simply because you've been given these gifts for a long period of time. You got to decide at some point that you're gonna be a loser. Now I don't know when she made that choice, but I mean, you got 4 kids and you're not married. You're rebellious. You're not in a shelter because you're rebellious. You're not in your daddy good graces because you're rebellious. It's a pattern here. All she probably could. I mean, I can't say for sure, but a daughter can go tell her daddy, "I'm sorry." That's usually how it works, especially in the black community. You can tell your daddy, "I'm sorry. Look, I messed up. I shouldn't have went public with none of that. It'll never happen again. I'm sorry." I don't see what the big deal is there. But if you got so much pride that you can't even go to your own daddy and say, "I'm sorry," I ain't got no sympathy for you. You can't say to your dad, not some stranger, not some guy you used to work for. You can't tell your daddy, "I'm sorry." Yeah, it sound about to me. It sounded like he cut that money off at the right time, and I'll leave it right there.
All right. Thank you, the Roger Report, for once again coming to the show and gracing us with your presence and damn near undefeatable logic. And, the guy that is able to defeat your logic, whatever day that happens, that's going to have to be an amazing motherfucker. But
Word
I'll
up.
say that. And although I am amazing, I have nothing against your logic. So we just going to chill on that for.
Word up.
Yeah. But see, here's what it all boils down to. And goes for males and females. Um, if you decide to have a child, I don't give a damn how affluent your parents are. You are the one that has to create the best situation for that child or any other children that you subsequently have. Now, if you have someone that is supporting your lifestyle completely without you doing a damn thing that you're completely dependent upon, the worst fucking thing that you can do is to disrespect that person. Period. By Latanya Young disrespecting her father, she attempted to hurt his brand and his income. So if you try to hurt my livelihood, the livelihood that I use to support your black ass 100%, then why should I have to do anything else for you? It's time for you to get out there and learn. And I'm quite sure that he's thinking about it like, okay, like what Y Skinner said earlier, uh, that uh, look, he probably would have cut her off a little bit earlier. He probably would have. Uh, but I mean, at that point, what difference would that have made anyway if he had already allowed her to be that privileged? But we do have a tendency to save them a little bit too much, which brings me to the point of we have to set this standard that if we are to prevent this further from happening to other children, that we have to start letting these people know that this shit ain't okay. Oh, I see you down there, Rael. If you want to come up for a second and say something, you can come. I'll just drop the link. Wait on you, but I was about to shut this down. so, so just come up real quick, say what you got to say, and then I'm gonna shut it down. Uh, Stoic One says she chose this, no sympathy. Yeah, well, yeah, she did, and she didn't make the she's not making the right decision for the kids. Look, at the end of the day, the ones who suffer the most are the children. If we are not making the best possible choices for the kids, uh, then what's the point? What's the point of her coming on social media complaining about her situation? She just let everybody know how fucked up she was. And not only is that embarrassment to herself, is an embarrassment to her children as well. And that's the one thing that she should have thought about, embarrassing her children. Now what do her children have to face now that everyone knows that they have a loser for a mother? And I'll just leave it at that. So uh anyway, Rael, are you still down there or what's going on? Like I said, I'll catch the next show. Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, tomorrow evening of course is any given Sunday. Shoot, as always, I don't know what the show is gonna be on, but hey, I'm sure it's gonna be a good one. So shoot, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Uh or well later on tonight technically. Uh Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Thanks for the super chats and goodbye to any given Sunday. Peace.